Taste a large Papa John's Ultimate Pepperoni Pizza for just $11.99. A huge value for double the pepperoni on a crispy thin crust. Just $11.99. Call or click papajohns.com today. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. The Jazz and Heat are about to take the floor. It's almost time for the tip here at the Heat's house. Let's toss it back over to Eric and Tony. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
And good day to you, Jackson. Heat fans all over this great Heat nation, beginning here in South Florida. Couldn't imagine a better test for the Heat before they venture out to play 6 of their next 7 on the road and going against this finely tuned Utah machine. They're healthy again. They're ripping off wins, 12 of their last 13. And this is the first of back-to-back games for Miami, both starting at 1 in the afternoon. The Heat will play the Sixers in Philadelphia, 1 o'clock tomorrow. How different is it for these two teams to play the 1 o'clock tip today?
Coach Spoelstra talked about that pregame, Eric. He said, you know, we practice every day around this time. They go about 11, 12 o'clock after game nights. And so yeah, he said the first couple of minutes probably be a little sluggish for both teams, but they'll both get into it.
Remember, Miami is without Daquan Cook today. He's missing the game because of a tooth extraction yesterday. Cook missing his 5th game of the year. The Heat have lost 3 of the 4 they've played without him. Our officiating crew assigned by the NBA for this afternoon's contest: Tom Washington, Bill Spooner, and former NBA point guard Haywood Workman. And it's Tom Washington, the crew chief, that'll get us started with our opening tip. And South Florida, thanks for joining us on this 1 p.m. start time. Off we go on today's Miami Heat NBA adventure. 35 wins. That's 20 more than a year ago. The largest one-season improvement in franchise history. Jermaine O'Neal gets it started quickly. Jermaine playing in his 13th game in a Heat uniform, and coach on the offensive end more than holding his own.
As they usually start, he go inside to Jermaine to get him going early. They're starting to run the offense through him. Then later in the game, you know who's handling the ball, D-Wade.
Well, Miami winning the early season matchup in Utah this year, but that was a game the Jazz were without Carlos Boozer and Andre Kirilenko. The 3 there from C.J. Miles, the young man who came right out of high school in Dallas into the NBA. Gets the Jazz on the board with his 53rd triple this year.
Shooting 36% from the three-point line. That's a terrific percentage.
C.J. Miles and Ronnie Brewer, guys, are not household names, but they are Utah starters. Boone missing the 3. Boozer outlets quickly. One of the best point guards in pro basketball, the 4th-year man, Darren Williams.
Yeah, one of D-Wade's teammates for the gold medal last summer.
So is Carlos Boozer, who gets on the scoreboard, the 7-year veteran out of Duke. Carlos Boozer missing 45 games this year with issues. His left quad, his left knee, and his right ankle costing him over half of this season. Wade on the fake, on the give and go for 2. Nice feed by Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, same play worked the other night. If the guy bites on the fake by Wade, he can draw the foul, or he can give it up and go. So the give and go, which the Celtics used for many years to win championships, worked right there for the Heat.
Darren Williams had that one in 5th gear, and the Heat turn it over.
As we said the other night, they did the same thing, the same 2 guys. Watch Wade with the fake. His defender is out of place. You know, can't get back in time. D-Wade knows how to cut, and Jermaine O'Neal is a very good passer.
That was a perfect feed for D-Wade with the Jazz ahead by 3. One of the better shooting bigs in the league is Mehmet Okur, among the league's leaders in three-point percentage. And the Heat defense will be taxed today. They do force a turnover here. And will Tom Washington get overruled by Bill Spooner? No. There's Jerry Sloan. His team is averaging 103 points per game. They are 6th in the NBA in scoring, 3rd in field goal percentage, 1st in assists and steals.
2nd in forcing turnovers, so they're doing it at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, they're also 1st in the NBA in points off turnovers as O'Neal converts for the 2nd time in as many shots.
Yeah, we've seen him turning over that right shoulder. That's something he's very comfortable with down near the basket.
Well, 4 points for Jermaine, a 1-point lead for Utah as Jamario Moon comes down with the Carlos Boozer miss. Darren Williams going under the screen and roll there on Chalmers.
He's going to make Chalmers make a few before he goes over it.
O'Neal against Okur. And oh no, first miss for Jermaine today. Deron Williams, he's got everything you need in a point guard. Size, skill, and vision. Miles missing the three.
And confidence.
And Haslem has the rebound. 3 minutes in, Miami down by 1. Wade using the crossover on a very good defender in Ronnie Brewer. Brewer at 6'7", a long wingspan on the defensive mindset. Jerry Sloan comfortable with putting young Brewer on the skilled Dwayne Wade. He said the #1 goal for Brewer: don't commit the silly fouls. Pick your spot.
Coach Spoelstra talked before the game how since Dwayne Wade is making that mid-range shot, how teams are having difficulty guarding him because they can't play off him. They'll hit it. They push up close. They go around him. Right there, you saw Wade draw the foul.
Jermaine O'Neal on the putback. Missed it. After Chalmers had missed on the layup.
Yeah,
and here comes Williams. Fast break. Finds Okur from three-point land.
Jermaine O'Neal looked like he got hit on the arm on that last shot.
Wade reaching in on Okur. The tip by Boozer doesn't go, and here comes Dwayne with the Heat still down by 1. Wade on the pull-up. And the rebound to Ronnie Brewer. Well, the Heat have missed 5 of their first 8 shots. The Jazz are 3 for 6. Williams driving by Chalmers, lost it out of bounds. It'll stay with Utah. It's a very difficult assignment for Mario Chalmers, who's better coming off the ball for steals, but that's quite a one-on-one assignment for him today, Coach.
Yeah, Deron Williams in his 4th year in the NBA, so he's got the savvy, the experience also from that Olympic team to go with all the ability and the instincts.
Chalmers got lost in a maze of screens. Deron Williams knocking in his second jumper in as many attempts, so he's got 4 points and a couple of early assists.
You mentioned he and Chris Paul, two leaders in the NBA in assists. The only 2 guys averaging double-figure assists for the season.
Deron Williams was 3rd in the NBA in assists last year. Even better this season. Haslem with a miss. C.J. Miles with the rebound in the outlet. Jazz remain under the radar. One of the better teams in the West, one of the best offensive teams in the league, and they don't do it with spectacular plays. They do it like that with brilliant execution in half court.
Very good recognition right there, knowing that the offensive player on the low post is being fronted. They skip the ball to the high post, got a high-low pass inside for an easy layup for Boozer.
So 4 points for Boozer. That was a great assist by Mehmet Okur. And Okur reaching in commits the foul on Jermaine O'Neal. Okur's first. Utah's second.
Here's what we were talking about. Look at the recognition of where the pass goes. When it goes to the high post, you've got Boozer with his defender on the high side. He's got an easy layup to the rim.
A good look at Utah's work on the offensive end on your Marooney.com netcam replay in South Florida. When you need a car, truck, or van, you know who to call by now. Call 1-877-MAROONEY.
I think Jermaine may have gotten away with a little travel on that last play, Eric. He traveled before he got fouled.
Now, today's game is being simulcast in Spanish. You can access this audio feature by selecting the built-in SAP option on your television. If you do, enjoy listening to the radio voice of the Miami Heat in Espanol. Jose Pineda with his color analyst, Joe Pujan.
Yeah, La Voz.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal has 5 points for Miami, 5 of the Heat's first 7. They got to slow down the Jazz this end. Utah's hit 5 of their first 8 shots. Coach, year after year, they run the same stuff, and it always works.
Yeah, the great execution. Jerry Sloan's an old-school kind of coach. He's got a lot of discipline with the system that they run. They're very fortunate. They've always had a great point guard to run. John Stockton and now Deron Williams.
A 7-1 run by Utah. A couple of triples for C.J. Miles already in this game. Wade will try a 3. Kaboom!
That's what happens when you play off of him. That time Brewer was dealing with the screen, got caught up in it, and D-Wade buried the 3.
11 consecutive games Dwayne Wade has tripled. Here he comes up with a steal. on his way for 2 more. Dwayne Wade, well, it's 11 straight games with a 3. He's also got a steal streak going now. 9 consecutive games with at least one of those.
Yes, didn't take him long for both streaks, did it?
Matter of fact, Wade has 4 games in a row with 4 steals in 3 straight, but a slam dunk there, uncontested for Carlos Boozer. Utah continues to rack up easy scores. They've made 7 of their first 10 shots.
You better be able to defend the pick and roll when you play the Utah Jazz, because they'll run you to death with that. That was too easy right there.
5.5 minutes left in this first quarter on a day where Dwayne Wade could become the franchise's scoring leader in Heat history. He's only 14 points shy of breaking Alonzo Mourning's record as Ron Brewer came in, and we get a foul on Jamario Moon. First foul on Moon, and Miami's first foul of the fray. He is chasing down history, just a matter of time until Dwayne Wade passes Alonzo Mourning as Miami's all-time NBA scoring leader.
The Jazz win it, and Jerry Sloan makes history.
They broke the mold, you know, when they made him, because there aren't any like him in this league.
I think he has a lot of Lombardi in him. He knows which guys to kick in the rear, and he knows which guys to put his arm around, you know.
He never threw his players under the bus. It's always his fault, even though deep down it wasn't. And I don't know, it's been great.
Now the legendary Jerry Sloan, he's 66 years old, his 21st season with Utah, his 24th as an NBA head coach. And he is number 4 on the NBA's all-time winning list, 65 victories shy of Pat Riley. He is the longest tenured NBA coach in history, 21 years with the same team. Red Auerbach, second best, 16 years with Boston. And Sloan, I think he's a sure thing for the Hall of Fame in Springfield. He and John Stockton on the finalists ballot for election next year.
I mean, all 4 of those guys will make it. They all should be first ballot MVP, Hall of Fame guys. And you remember, Eric, we talked to Kenny Natt out in Sacramento, and he said the 2 things that Coach Sloan told him when he became the head coach. He said, never take any credit. Always give the players the credit, and never think about the money that the players are making. None of that has anything to do with decisions that you make. Those are 2 great nuggets for a young head coach to adhere to. And that's what Jerry Sloan has done his whole career.
Ronnie Brewer getting 1 of 2. The Jazz, who have led by as many as 7 right now, scored a 5-point lead with 5 and change left in this first quarter. Wade's jumper over Brewer is short. And the rebound down to C.J. Miles. Jerry Sloan loves players like Ronnie Brewer and C.J. Miles. Not the big reputations, but long-arm defenders who play a valuable team role.
He's a guy, I told you about old-fashioned schools rules, and he's a guy like Pat Riley. That you play hard, you don't worry about anything but doing your job, and then you get rewarded for that, and that's the way Jerry Sloan coaches.
Jamario Moon with a jumper that comes up short. The Heat just 5 for their first 13, not getting much in the way of inside scores just yet. Utah coming here with a record of 41 and 24. They're 5 under 500 on the road at 13 and 18. Deron Williams, 5 to shoot. Dwayne Wade comes up with his second steal of the first quarter. Wade,
waiting.
number 2 in the NBA in steals this year.
He was waiting for that, Eric. You could see him in the weight. He knew what Deron Williams was going to do, and then he stole it.
That was knocked out of bounds by Deron Williams. Well, the Heat will retain possession and get a fresh shot clock.
Watch D. Wade again. He's going to come from the left side. He waited just long enough to let Deron Williams think he had the pass, and then he stole it.
Now, a couple of changes for Miami. Michael Beasley for 1, and Luther Head making his Heat debut. Head coming off the bench as the Heat's first guard. Remember, Daquan Cook is not available today. Cook had a tooth pulled yesterday, so in comes Luther Head, the 4th-year guard from Illinois, who teamed with Deron Williams in the Illini backcourt back in the day.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Eric, he was one of my favorite unheralded guys a couple of years ago in Houston. He's a guy I looked in the box score when you look through the scores from game to game, and I'm happy he's here. I think he's got to play the way he did 2 years ago in Houston, and he'll help this Heat team.
He played well his first 2 years as a member of the Rocket. Beasley got his first score off the bench. He's been a microwave-like player for Miami, coming off the bench for buckets. Well, we mentioned the Daquan Cook absence today. With more on that story, let's check in with Jason Jackson.
Eric, as you noted, that tooth extracted yesterday, it was on the left side. They're listing him as day-to-day. He's going to travel with the team to Philadelphia for the road trip. I doubt, having had this done, that he'll be ready to go tomorrow, but we'll see about that. But he will be on the plane tonight as the team goes to Philadelphia. Back over to you.
All right, thanks, Jax. Luther Head gave Moon an alley-oop he couldn't do anything with, and then Head triples on his first Miami Heat shot.
How cool was that? And you know, when Beasley came in the game and O'Neal went out, you got Udonis playing center now, and Luther Head's the point guard.
That's Luther Head's 15th triple of the year, and another quick score for the Jazz. Darren Williams, he's got 6 points and 4 assists. Carlos Boozer, 8 points and 4 rebounds. And right now, the Jazz shooting 64% on 9 of 14.
Eric, on that high-low pass, he'd have to do a better job of contesting the pass. Get all over the guy. Don't let him just stand there and look at the guy open in the low post.
And we get a whistle and a Utah foul upcoming on the Michael Beasley drive. Now, Luther Head hadn't played in a while. This is his first shot in an NBA game since January 10th. He jacks it up from three-point land. And Luther, you could always remember your first shot in Miami, a made three. Heat's first-year skipper, Erik Spoelstra. He's having a terrific rookie season as an NBA head coach. The Heat's 6th all-time head coach. He's been in that position since the 28th of last April. And what a year it's been for Erik Spoelstra and Miami, your Marines.com leader of the game. 20 more wins than a year ago, surpassing the second season Pat Riley was in Miami when he jumped the Heat from 42 to 61 victories. The Heat with 20 more wins than a year ago and still 18 games remaining in the season, including this one. And Spo has a little spot in NBA history with one more win. He'll pass former Heat assistant coach and one-time Chicago Bulls head man Ed Badger for the biggest improvement under a first-year head coach in NBA history.
Eric, when he got the job, a lot of people asked me, what did I think of Spo? And I said, you know what? He's a terrific young coach. He's going to do a great job. The only thing he lacks is experience, and he has an outstanding assistant crew there with him, which includes Ron Rothstein, who has head coaching experience in the NBA, the first head coach of the Miami Heat. So it's all working for the Heat, both with players and with coaches.
9 points for Dwayne Wade as Brewer mails one in. Ronnie Brewer's first field goal. Brewer has 3 points. Ron Brewer, the young man out of Arkansas, in his 3rd season. He's only 23 years old and continues to get better and better.
He's improving that outside shot. Remember when we played against him before, he's a guy that only scores really around the basket, but now he's going out and extending it. He's going to make defenders hard to guard him because he's going to be able to extend the defense.
Kyle Korver tripling for the 75th time this year. The former Philadelphia 76er, averaging 8.5 points a game. He's got the Jazz up by 7, which equals Utah's largest lead of this first quarter.
That was exactly the spot he was working on before the game. Well, they're saying Beasley was out of bounds fighting for that ball, so it's going to be Utah ball. See this again. Watch as he fights below. There he is right in the bottom of your screen. And as they're fighting for the ball, he goes out of bounds.
Now James Jones is into Miami's lineup now. Jones replacing Jamario Moon at small forward. And by the way, I didn't notice it at the outset. Dwayne Wade's got a Band-Aid back under his eye, but a black uniform Band-Aid.
Yeah, I didn't notice it either because it is black and it matches the uniform. And James Jones fouls.
James Jones fouling the jump shooter, Ronnie Brewer. That's the first on James Jones. The second team foul on Miami. You remember the rage, the fashion rage D. Wade caused by wearing the D. Wade Band-Aids. It was soon outlawed by the NBA, but Wade still protecting what was a gash that needed stitches to close. Coach Ronnie Brewer, his dad, played with Sidney Moncrief and Marvin Delph. Ron Brewer teamed with Moncrief and Delph. They became the well-known triplets for the Arkansas team that went all the way to the 1978 Final Four. Ron Brewer Sr. played 8 NBA seasons. And look at Ron Brewer Jr. follow up his own miss and get Utah another possession.
See, as a coach today, Eric, you don't coach following your own shot, but Brewer knew that he was missing that shot, so he out-hustled everybody to the ball.
Now the Jazz, after the Heat had tied this game at 17, Utah's gone on a 10-2 run.
Eric, the reason why you don't teach that is because when you're shooting the ball, you shouldn't be moving forward to go get the rebound. It's going to mess up your balance and rotation.
Jazz turn it over, even though they are leading by 8 points at 27-19. This is their largest lead of this first quarter. And Utah taking liberties on the offensive end, shooting 65%.
D. Wade hit it out. He deflected it, according to the outside official, Tom Washington. So Utah takes the ball out.
What execution. Kyle Korver gets a layup on an inbounds play. 5 points for Korver since coming off the bench 2 minutes ago. It's a 10-point Utah lead.
How about Utah? 10 assists for 12 field goals. That's how they play. Lead the league in assists.
This is what they do. They surgically dissect your defense with great screens, solid cuts, and terrific perimeter shooting, and very unselfish and precise passing.
Yeah, Jerry Sloan discipline.
They had their 12-game winning streak end in Atlanta Wednesday, 100-93, in a game the Hawks played without the services of one of their starting forwards, Marvin Williams. 3 to shoot. Korver leading Brevin Knight. And the point guard out of Stanford came up with the air ball, a shot clock violation, giving the Heat the basketball back with just under 3 seconds left in the first quarter.
They got to add more to that. There was 3-something left, or between. The difference between the shot clock and the game clock, there it is, 3.8. So they've adjusted it. Oh, they made it 4.3.
Beasley from half court.
Oh, that looked good when he released it. Wow.
Well, the Jazz scored 29 first-quarter points on 63% shooting. After 1 quarter, the visitors from Salt Lake leading Miami by 10. El Maximo Gomez Park, informally known as Domino Park, one of the main meeting places in Little Havana. Almost any time of the day, it is filled with retirees and neighborhood folks playing dominoes or chess and having a grand old time.
Jackson with this afternoon's Kia card. Kia Motors, the power to surprise. We focus in on Carlos Boozer, who is back. He missed 44 straight games this season with serious left leg issues, a quad strain, and a scope on that very same knee. Coach Sloan believes that Boozer is still trying to find himself on the court. He's done a nice job here in his resident home of Miami. Thus far, 8 points and 5 rebounds. Boozer had played in 8 of the last 9 games, and the Jazz won all but 1. Sloan says winning is the bottom line, so he's not going to worry about the progress of Boozer. Only 6 games after returning from knee surgery, Boozer suffered a minor setback with a sprained right ankle that kept him from playing against Toronto last Saturday. You put it all together, and you can understand being rusty and problems adjusting to the team. The team had been together and playing a certain way, and all of a sudden, Boozer comes back. It changes a little, but it did knock the team off their winning stride, Eric and Tony.
Now, Jackson was another one of those formerly injured players, Andrei Kirilenko, that started the second quarter with his first score for Utah. And then Mario Chalmers comes back, gets his first score for Miami. The Jazz are up 10. Here's Kirilenko, the Russian rocket, missing the wing jumper. James Jones down with a rebound.
You add Carlos Boozer to any lineup, and it's going to improve it once he gets over the rustiness of being out.
He'd open the second quarter with Chalmers, Jones, McClure, Beasley, and Luther Head. Beasley's short jumper hits front rim. McClure lost the rebound of Paul Millsap.
He'd have 1 starter in the game now with Chalmers out there. Obviously a different combination because he walked. Good call by the official. Luther Head. Anytime Luther's on the court now, any combination is new for the Heat because first time he's in a Heat uniform.
There is Andrei Kirilenko, the slender 6'9", 8-year veteran out of the Soviet Union. Formerly a first-team all-defensive player in 06. This year he's averaging 12 points and 5 rebounds a game. Jazz have been ahead by as many as 12. The Heat's biggest lead was 2. Luther Head, the 6'3" guard, making his Heat debut today as Beasley fires and connects. 4 points from Michael. The Heat are within 8. Luther Head Head picking up his first Miami assist, playing in his first NBA game this year since the 10th of January. He was waived a couple of weeks ago by the Houston Rockets and quickly scooped up by Miami.
It made me feel old, Eric. I said something to him. He said, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's just polite.
I know.
Nice rebound by Jamal McGlure and the elbow swing to keep Kirilenko away. 2 minutes in, second period here in Miami. Chalmers driving on Knight, who reached in and committed the foul.
Yeah, you know, Chalmers is very good at probing with his dribble. Change of pace dribble, both left or right, getting into the painted area, making good decisions.
Heat fans, bring your Benihana receipt to the Verizon Wireless ticket office right here at the American Airlines Arena, and you get a very special buy one ticket, get one ticket free offer for the March Heat home game against Memphis and Orlando. It's not valid with any other offer. Restrictions do apply, and it is subject to availability. For more information, visit heat.com. Mario Chalmers averaging just under 10 points a game in his rookie year. Has already set a Heat rookie record with his 89 triples. He does have 4 points all in this second quarter. Heat are within 6 after trailing moments ago by a dozen. And Millsap hitting the soft one-hander. Paul Millsap in his third year at a Louisiana Tech. A guy who stepped in, filled the void when Boozer went down with an injury. Millsap averaging 14 points, 9 boards a game this year. A very competent player. Head fakes the three. Dribble drives past Korver. Sets up McGlure. And the rebound brought down by Andrei Kirilenko with the Jazz up by 8. Kirilenko, a valuable weapon, especially on the defensive end. He could guard almost anyone on the floor on any given night.
Tries to block every shot by the opponent, no matter where it is. He's always going out there with those long arms. And an improved offensive player.
Millsap ripping the rebound away from Michael Beasley. Last touch by Miami. Paul Millsap, a guy who has a history of rebounding. He's the only Division I player in NCAA history to lead his team in rebound, or to lead the NCAA in rebounding 3 consecutive years. He did it at Carmelone's alma mater, Louisiana Tech. Today's game, the Heat have only 6 games left at home. As a matter of fact, Miami plays 9 of their next 12 on the road, including the next 3, beginning tomorrow afternoon in Philadelphia. 76ers with Samuel Dalibert inside. Boston awaiting Miami. The Celtics, right behind the Cleveland Cavaliers in the East, will host Miami Wednesday. Lawrence Frank and his Nets still hoping they can secure that 8th playoff spot in the East. They are among several teams a half game behind the Bucks for the number 8 spot. And the 4th game on that road trip, 4 straight on the road for Miami, in Detroit on Sunday afternoon. It's time for the Hyundai Road Ahead. Save on every Hyundai with up to $6,000 cash back. 0 down is available. That's even 0% financing this week at your Hyundai dealer. Eric Reed, Jason Jackson, and the coach Tony Fiorentino, along with our Sun Sports crew. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday afternoon in Miami. A travel on Kyle Korver. Well, the turnovers have been a little bit costly for Utah. They have 6, but the Jazz shooting 58% in this first half and ahead of Miami by 8 points.
Good defense by Luther Head that time. He forced Korver into moving his pivot foot.
Chalmers, Jones, Beasley, McGlure, and Luther Head on the floor for Miami. Head getting his first minutes, and they've been extended minutes in this second quarter.
And you see what Coach Spoelstra does. He goes through Beasley when Wade's not on the floor. Comes out of the timeout with a set play. Beasley draws the foul.
Paul Millsap picking up his second foul, and the second foul on the Jazz in this quarter. Well, Heat fans, if you want to know what it feels like to be a Heat player, then get drafted and become the Miller Lite player for a day. Here's how you do it. Visit Heat.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of VIP Heat tickets, 1 day's worth of an NBA's rookie salary, a 1-year supply of Miller Lite, and many more great prizes. Log on to Heat.com right now and enter to win. Michael Beasley makes both. Beasley has 6 points off the bench in this first half. And a Heat foul here is on Luther Head. Luther Head was a second-team all-rookie player when he averaged almost 9 points and made 113 triples for the Houston Rockets. And then 2 years ago in his second year, he averaged 11 points a game and hit 177 from downtown.
And what Luther does for the Heat, Eric, is that he gives Dwayne Wade a little more rest on the bench. You can keep him there because you got a veteran guy that can come in as the backup point guard. And, you know, especially with a game tomorrow, all those minutes that Dwayne's been playing. He's in the top 9, I believe it is, in the league in minutes played. So it gives him a little more of a rest.
And Coach Luther had the 2 very good years to start, but then last year, under 8 points a game with 79 threes. This year, he lost minutes to, among others, Von Wafer of the Houston Rockets. This year, he's averaging under 5 points on under 40% shooting.
But you saw the graphic, 39% from the three-point line for his career. It's a good situation for him.
4 points for Andrei Kirilenko off Utah's bench. The Jazz ahead by 8. And good, quick first step. Chalmers down the lane. Nice dish from McGlure, who put it home.
Good moves by Chalmers. End head, draw and kick. Find the McGlure down low.
6-point lead for Utah. Darren Williams driving in. Will the bucket count? I think not.
No, I think
foul
it was
came
outside.
before the shot.
Yep.
And the foul is on Luther Head.
You can see that the draw and kick as Chalmers gets into the lane area. I mean, that Head gets into the lane area, then he hits Chalmers, who came from behind, and then he hits McGlure. So it was good draw and kick by 2 guys, good ball movement and body movement by the Heat.
Kyle Korver off a nice shot fake that sent the defender flying. Korver connects. He's 3 for 3, has 7 points. The Jazz are ahead by 8, and Utah is shooting 60% in the first half. Jermaine O'Neal just came in for Miami, replacing Jamal McGlure. Head faking on the 3. 5 on the shot clock for Luther. 3 for Beasley. 2 for Beasley. And the rebound tip by Korver. Back to Jermaine O'Neal. Fresh shot clock for Miami.
James Jones down low affected that. He was in the inside, and it's only appropriate that he should get the 3-pointer there. Good job by Jones, allowing O'Neal to get the offensive rebound.
The 11th triple this year for James Jones. Miami gets their 3rd triple of the day. Down 5, and Millsap has it bounce off. James Jones outlets the rebound.
A very active James Jones at both ends of the floor.
Under 7 minutes left, second quarter. Nice pass by Head. Jermaine O'Neal drops in the jumper. 7 points for Jermaine O'Neal, and Luther Head doing a nice job of getting the basketball into the right hand.
You know, Eric, the tendency by a guy, first game for a team, wants to impress, tries to do too much. Luther Head's playing within himself, not trying to do too much and doing a good job.
Basket counts for Darren Williams, the foul against Michael Beasley.
Darren Williams does it against everybody. But Luther Head, as you mentioned, Eric, doing a good job off the bench. Good pick and roll, nice pass to Jermaine. He's got that little 10, 12-foot baseline J. And as you mentioned, Luther Head doing a real nice job off the bench.
You know, Tony, we talked a lot about Utah's injuries. Carlos Boozer missing 45 games. Kirilenko missing 15. Matt Harpring 14. And Darren Williams, he's missed 14 games this year, including the first 13 when he was recovering from a sprained left ankle. The Jazz having players step up, and all of those occasions, they kept winning even with some of their best players out with injuries.
Yeah, when the Heat won in Utah earlier in the season, Darren Williams was coming off that sprained ankle, so he wasn't 100%.
And you look at the myriad of Utah injuries to key guys, and still they're 41-24. They've won 12 of their last 13 games.
Yeah, but the guy who's always been there is Jerry Sloan, of course.
Yeah, they were 26-22 through the month of January, but they turned the season around, winning 15 of their last 17 games. 3 to shoot. Chalmers from downtown. Kaboom!
Good shot awareness by James Jones and Chalmers on that play.
Mario Chalmers with the 90th, triple number 90 of his rookie year.
And there you see Kirilenko is being guarded by Chalmers. You know, when they come at you in transition, you got to pick up the closest guy. And the Heat now are out of sync defensively because they never were able to match up with who they wanted to, and it results in a 3 by Okur.
Miami's all-time scoring record record. Alonzo Mourning set it March 30th, 2007. So with 9,459 points in 593 games, Dwayne Wade started the day 20 points away. This is his 380th game. So if he breaks the record today, he'll have done it in 213 fewer games than Alonzo. Dwayne Wade has 9 points on 4 of 7 shooting. So he's 11 away from tying and 12 away from becoming the Miami Heat's all-time scoring leader.
Eric, how about the Heat with a backcourt of Chalmers and Head in this quarter, a little over 6 minutes. The Heat was down 10 when Wade, in between quarters, Wade went out after the first quarter, and now the Heat are down 6. So they've cut 4 points off that deficit without Wade in the lineup.
And Dwayne Wade just picked up an offensive foul, setting an illegal screen. Anthony Wade getting a nice rest. Half the second quarter he spent on the bench. He has 9. Chalmers and Jermaine O'Neal each with 7. Darren Williams has 9 points. Carlos Boozer 8 for Utah. Okur barrels in. Offensive foul. And Coach Jermaine O'Neal draws his 10th charge in his 13th Miami game.
He's the league's 5th leading shot blocker, but he can also step in there and draw that charge, as you mentioned, Eric. Fits right into the Heat culture defensively. He'll get in front, way in front of the restricted area. He's got position. Perfect job right there.
At Marooney.com netcam replay brought to you by Marooney in South Florida. When you need a car, truck, or van, who you going to call? Call 1-877-MAROONEY. And in fairness to Jermaine, he has said repeatedly that drawing offensive fouls part of his game repertoire for his entire career. He takes pride in that, so it does fit right into the way the Heat preach defense here in Miami.
Yeah, he got over anxious on that screen and was moving as his teammate Wade came off of the screen, so he got called for a moving screen. Offensive foul.
By the way, Jermaine O'Neal's first foul. He does have a shot blocking streak of 17 consecutive games. He hasn't had one yet today.
Second best in the NBA to Tyrese Thomas of the Chicago Bulls.
6-point lead for Utah. 5 minutes left in the first half. This is Carlos Boozer against O'Neal. Boozer threw it away. Good defense by O'Neal and Haslam. That's 7 Utah turnovers. 8 Utah turnovers in the first half. Wade dribble drives through for the jumper for 2.
How pretty is that? That time he weaved his way to the foul line. Saw he didn't have an opening to the rim, so he used that step back dribble and buried the J.
Wade has 11, 10 points from becoming Miami's all-time scoring leader. Be great if it happens here at home today. Well, nice looking shot there. Kyle Korver, he is true, the 6-year veteran out of Creighton. Korver has 9 points, Tony, off the bench on 4 of 4 shooting.
Very good shooter. And you mentioned Wade. The Heat would like him to break that record in the first half.
Jermaine O'Neal missing on the dunk. Came up a little short. Okur now with a rebound.
He doesn't have that lift that he had before. I think that knee is not as solid as he would like it to be. When he gets inside, he's got to put it up, but he can't dunk it as yet.
Wade has 14 points. Miami, for the 3rd time in this quarter, has cut the lead to 3.
And for the first time, the Heat come back in the 2-3 zone off the made free throw.
Okur was fouled by Jermaine O'Neal. The Heat were down by 12. Just 15 seconds into this quarter at 31-19. That was the second foul on Jermaine O'Neal. Miami's over the limit. The American Airlines Arena will be rocking when the 2009 playoffs roll into town. Heat fans, don't miss your chance to get in on it. Tickets will be scarce. The games always sell out quickly. The only way to guarantee seats for every Heat home playoff game is to become a Heat season ticket holder. Reserve your Heat season tickets for next season with a $250 per seat deposit, because your deposit makes it possible for you to purchase playoff tickets before they go on sale this year to the general public in April. For more information, call 786-777-HOOP. Ticket sales reps are standing by, and the Heat looking to make the playoffs for the 13th time in 21 years. And for the 5th time in the last 6 seasons.
Eric, it doesn't matter who the opponent is. Fans are coming in droves to the arena because of D. Wade. He's worth the price of admission. And today we got a 1 p.m. game, which is usually not a good game for fans to attend on a nice day in Miami. This arena's got a big crowd here today.
Okur has 4 points. The Jazz lead by 4. Wade, catch and dribble. Udonis from the wing. Oh, even with the Boozer closeout, Haslam able to connect on his first field goal of the day. Miami's within 2, the closest they've been here in the second quarter. Williams got by Wade. Somehow found Korver for 3. And the rebound trickles off the hands of Udonis Haslem.
Good closeout by the Heat. Korver's not getting open looks on the last 2 shots. It throws you off a little bit when you got a guy running at you as opposed to being wide open. Watch the closeout by Jamario Moon. See, Korver did not really get the rhythm he wanted on that shot. He was distracted a little bit by Moon and he missed it, but the Heat didn't corral the rebound.
Miami trailed by 10 after 1 quarter. We mentioned by 12 early on in the second. Dwayne Wade got a block on Deron Williams. A rather vicious block from behind. The Heat with a chance to tie it or take the lead.
Best shot blocking guard in the NBA since he came in the league 6 years ago.
Korver comes down with Wade's missed shot. Here comes Deron Williams. Williams picked up by Chalmers, a collision and a score. So Deron Williams has 11 points and 6 assists. The talented young man from Illinois has made 5 of his first 7 shots. His Utah Jazz are shooting 54% here in the first half. And they've out-rebounded the Heat by 8 right now. Wade off contact with Brewer, still makes the jumper. Dwayne Wade, 16 first-half points, 5 away from becoming the Heat's all-time scoring leader.
And Brewer hurt his ankle, Eric. He's limping up the floor, wincing as he comes up. So let's see how that plays out.
Boozer misses on the flip. Boozer keeps it alive, but it comes down to Mario Chalmers.
Wade tapped it away.
Under 2 minutes left in the half. Chalmers missing on the 3 and Okur down with a rebound. A 3 that would have put Miami out in front. Ronnie Brewer, top side to Williams. Minute 38 to go, second quarter. Williams using the Boozer screen. That opens up Korver for 3. Well, Kyle Korver, he might as well park his Winnebago right on that baseline. That's his spot. Korver with 12 points in 14 minutes off the bench. He's made 5 of his 7 shots, including a couple of triples.
There's Dwayne Wade, 16 points here in the first half. Watch him bury this shot from the corner, from the mid-range, and then he's 5 points away from becoming the all-time leader in points scored for the Heat, passing Alonzo Mourning.
That's exactly what Eric Spoelstra refers to it as, Jax, a brand instituted by Jerry Sloan. It's his way. And the Jazz, they've been so good at home. They've won 11 straight games at home, and they haven't lost 2 in a row since a 4-game losing streak near the end of January. So losing their last game in Atlanta, not a good thing for Miami. Kyle Korver hasn't been healthy for Miami either. He's 6 for 8 off the bench, has a team-leading 14 points. D. Wade leads all scorers with 16, 4 points from tying Alonzo's scoring record, 5 points from becoming the Heat's all-time leader. And make it 2 points away. Dwayne Wade triples for the second time here in the first half. Coach, how about a 19-point first half for Dwayne Wade today?
We told you he had a shot to do it in the first half. He needed 21. He's got 19. That's a 14 foul, so the Heat will take it on the side. And tonight, for the first time this season, we see Luther Head and Dwayne Wade in the backcourt together.
Loose ball foul is on Kyle Korver, his first foul of this game. Now stay tuned. Coming up for the Chevy Halftime Show, Ira Winderman will join Jason Jackson in the Chevy Halftime Studios to discuss the NBA's future, which is a look at the best collegiate players. Jackson will also interview Heat assistant coach David Fizdale. All of it and more on the Chevy Halftime Show. 23 seconds left, first half. Jermaine O'Neal. Kirilenko reached in, committed his second foul.
Eric, what Dwayne Wade did right there when he passed the ball to Udonis, he backed up to half court to take Brewer with him. Now it becomes a 4-on-4 game with the Heat. There's more area to move. So sometimes Dwayne likes to do that for his teammates. O'Neal winds up drawing the foul. Watch this again. He's going to pass it to Udonis. Now he's going to back up and take Brewer with him. Now it becomes a 4-on-4. There's more room to manipulate the defense, and O'Neal gets to the foul line.
Another example of Wade's intelligence in a team way. And Heat fans, we are all sitting on the edge of Miami Heat history with his next field goal. Dwayne Wade will become the Miami Heat's all-time scoring leader. He will move past Alonzo Mourning in 213 fewer games. I know Alonzo's going to be very happy to hand this baton over to D. Wade.
Yeah, you never hate to have somebody, you never like to have somebody break your record, but if they're going to do it, then someone as great as D. Wade, he deserves it.
Well, the Heat
he
are
does.
8 of 9 from the free throw line here in the first half. They are down 2. The Heat's only lead of this game came on the very first score of the game, 2-0. They've only had one lead change. Williams with a beautiful scoop that is batted in
By Brewer.
What a play. Ronnie Brewer skying up there with the trees. Here's Wade from the backcourt.
That could do it. Nope. Jumper, and you can see there's so many different ways that he can score. It's impossible to stop him.
Third quarter here at the Heat's house is underway. Okur pitching back to Ronnie Brewer. It's Brewer, Williams, Okur, C.J. Miles, and Carlos Boozer for the Jazz. That's a good field goal for Darren Williams. He now has 13 points to go along with 8 assists. Williams has made 6 of his 10 shots, and you can clearly see why he is regarded as one of the top 1, 2, or 3 point guards in professional basketball.
Yeah, you can see he has a great pace.
Wade drives. Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. Wade drives in. He missed it.
Yeah, he has a great pace to his game, doesn't he, Darren Williams? He can speed it up when he has to, but he also plays at a speed that Coach Sloan wants him to.
Here's Wade ahead of the field. He did it. Dwayne Wade has just become Miami's all-time scoring leader. He earned it. He assumes his rightful position as the best scorer in the history of the Miami Heat. He breaks Alonzo Mourning's record in 213 fewer games.
And you get the feeling that's only about maybe half of what he's going to score in his career.
Well, Miami down by 4. Here comes Chalmers. Okur knocked it free. Haslam couldn't hold on. Moon deflection to Mario. And it rolls in.
How about that sequence right there?
The Heat are within 2. Dwayne Wade's record-setting basket coming with 11:10 remaining in this third quarter.
It's only appropriate that he did it on a dunk.
And Jermaine O'Neal continues his shot-blocking streak now to an 18th consecutive game. Yeah, D. Wade with his 104th dunk of the year, setting the all-time scoring record, and Mario Chalmers has evened the game at 57.
You love the way Chalmers goes right at Darren Williams. You mentioned one of the top 2 or 3 point guards in the NBA. But you know that Chalmers not going to back down from anybody.
Well, this is the first time today the game has been tied. A 6-0 Heat run to open up this third quarter. Jermaine O'Neal drives in. Haslam collects the rebound. O'Neal puts it home.
Good assist to Udonis. He went up. He got caught under the board. Found O'Neal even though it was tight quarters, and O'Neal finished.
Well, Jermaine O'Neal now with 11 points. The Heat have their first lead since the game was 2-0, and the Heat have a new all-time scoring leader. That's a 20-second timeout for Utah, and right now they're going to let the crowd know about D. Wade. Let's listen in.
Dwayne Wade has become the leading scorer in Miami Heat history. Congratulations, Dwayne Wade.
Well, we're so happy for Dwayne Wade and for the Heat Nation to witness this with us. Happier yet, it happened at home, and these fans that love Dwayne Wade can celebrate it with him.
And D. Wade on a breakaway layup, the dunk right here. As I said, only appropriate that he should become the all-time scorer in Heat history with a dunk. Here it is, baby.
And, oh, by the way, with this record-setting field goal on the slam dunk, Dwayne Wade also continues his 20-point streak to a 21st consecutive game. And the Heat have only their second lead of the day. The first game at 2-0. Right now it's 59-57, and a lead that didn't last very long. Darren Williams with his 57th triple this year puts Utah back in front by 1. Williams now has 16 points to lead the Jazz.
Jerry Sloan comes out of the timeout, goes to his stellar point guard, and he delivers.
Darren Williams, All-NBA second team a year ago, gold medal winner, along with D. Wade, Carlos Boozer, and the rest of the Redeem team. Darren Williams picking up that foul.
I like what Coach Fizdale said at halftime when Jax asked him, why does that pick and roll work so well? He goes, well, they had Stockton and Malone. And now they got Williams and Boozer.
Darren Williams, who left the Illinois Illini team after his junior year when they went 37-2 and made it all the way to the NCAA championship game where his team lost to North Carolina. Okur fouling Jermaine O'Neal. That seems to be a favorite move for O'Neal, coming across the lane for the jump hook. Okur picks up his 3rd foul.
He does. We told you that before, that when he first came to the Heat, we give you characteristics of the players, the new players. His characteristic is in the low post, he likes to turn and face the player that's guarding him and then take him off the dribble right or left, usually trying to get into the lane area. He'll either shoot the right-hand J off of the right shoulder, or he'll take his man into the lane for that little jump hook. And he's very assertive and aggressive with the move and usually gets to the foul line with it.
Well, Miami's 9 of 10 at the line today. You know, Jermaine O'Neal made his first free throw this afternoon, which gave him 15 consecutive, then missed on his second, which ended his longest free throw made streak of the season. So he's 4 of 5 from the line, 4 of 9 from the field. And Jermaine O'Neal now has 13 points, and guess who is in the Heat's house? Yes, now the number 2 all-time scorer in Heat history, still number 1 in so many hearts, and you can see Alonzo Mourning graciously accepting the inevitable. Here's C.J. Miles, who tripled twice in the first half. Moon saves it in the Wade. Miami ahead 61-60, 8:40 left, 3rd quarter here in Miami. Heat and 76ers from Philly tomorrow afternoon at 1. And you can enjoy it right here on Sun Sports. Jermaine O'Neal, good chemistry with Wade. He was free for the pass, and he drew a foul.
Yep, good pass by D-Wade. Threaded the needle there. D-Wade doesn't get an assist on the play, but it's one of those intangibles where you're getting your teammate to the foul line.
Ronnie Brewer picking up his 2nd foul, 3rd team foul on the Jazz in this 3rd quarter. Heat season ticket holders, imagine the look on your friends' faces when you show them this year's Heat team poster featuring none other than you. And that's reason number 19 why you should renew your Heat season tickets. The 09-2010 season ticket renewal process is underway. Renew by the March 16th deadline so you can continue to enjoy exclusive once-in-a-lifetime experiences such as being photographed and featured in the Heat's team poster. If you have any questions about the renewal process, don't hesitate. Contact Season Ticket Services at 786-777-1400.
Oh, Jermaine, unusual. Missed a free throw.
He's missed a couple today. Jermaine O'Neal with 14 Miami points. The Heat are ahead by 2. Carlos Boozer knocks it down. 10 points for a 2-time Olympic player. Carlos Boozer, 3 years at Duke. He was a sophomore on their 2001 NCAA championship team.
Yeah, the former Duke, he made that look easy.
Boozer has 10 points and 8 rebounds in this game. He's belt-to-belt with O'Neal, took the pump fake, and then committed the foul. And Coach Jermaine O'Neal, he does it with that nice head-to-shoulders fake. He is drawing repeated fouls on Utah front court players.
Well, you know, you plant seeds from earlier in the game. He made a couple of jumpers off that right shoulder, as we told you about. And then he took his man off the dribble the last time. So he had Carlos Boozer going betwixt and between on that play. And he used the past knowledge that Boozer had of his plays and drew the foul. Now it looks like they're in that 2-3 zone, Utah.
First foul on Boozer as Moon fires up a 3. Kaboom!
Yeah, the Heat read it well, knew what they were up against. I'm sure they worked on that yesterday when they had their shoot-around.
Jamario's first points of the day coming on his 4th shot. He's got 3 points with 5 rebounds. That was his 53rd triple this year. A steal by Moon. A 3-point lead for Miami, their biggest of the day. Nice pass. Jermaine O'Neal puts it home. And another hookup between Wade and O'Neal.
That bread and butter play by the Heat. It's either Jermaine O'Neal with Wade or it's Udonis with Wade. They do a great job of slipping or pick and roll to the basket, and Wade finds them.
Carlos Boozer launching. Mario Chalmers runs it down. The Heat outscoring Utah in this quarter so far 16-7.
There you see O'Neal again. He faced his man. Now he turns his back to him.
Boozer knocked it off the leg of Jermaine O'Neal. Utah takes it over. Jermaine O'Neal, did he get hit in the head or not? Look at the headband. 16-point day so far for J.O.
Imagine telling the ref, look at my headband, I got hit. They're not going to buy that.
Carlos Boozer, 17-footer, bottoms up.
He doesn't usually miss that shot.
12 points for Boozer, who's averaging 16.5 this year and shooting 52% last year. Boozer played in 81 games, averaged a career-high 21 points. Also had 10 rebounds a game a year ago.
Yeah, it's tough coming off injuries when you have to get into shape while the games are going on.
Jermaine O'Neal off his own rebound. Missed the short jumper, but Boozer lost it out of bounds. And then just put his hand right into the camera.
Michael Beasley in the game.
See what happened to Jermaine O'Neal on this play. He felt he got fouled on this. They called the ball off of him. He felt he got hit in the face. Yeah, you can't see from the angle we had. If it wasn't, it was very faint.
C.J. Miles reaching across the body of Mario Chalmers, picking up his first foul. And, Coach, before Miami could pick up a single-team foul in this third quarter, Utah has accumulated 5. Michael Beasley is in. Jermaine O'Neal is out. 16 points and 4 boards for Jermaine O'Neal in today's game.
When that happens, it usually means one team's being more assertive of going to the rim, more so than the other team. And we got Beasley in the game, as you mentioned. That means Udonis moves to that center spot. Beasley's the power forward. And then you got your 3 perimeter players stay the same in Wade, Chalmers, and Moon.
You know, part of Miami's improved offense has been their much improved free throw shooting. They're 13 for 15 in this game. Chalmers has 13 points. Miami ahead by 5. Miles for 3. And Michael Beasley comes down with his first rebound today in his 11th minute of action.
Tough shot by Miles. Step back, Jay, under duress from the 3-point line.
Wade was fouled by Carlos Boozer there.
Yeah, Wade used that screen by Udonis real well. He split the defenders like he usually does, got in the lane and drew the foul.
So Carlos Boozer, the 2-time All-Star, picking up his second foul, both coming in this third quarter. And Dwayne Wade to the line with 21 points today. El Heat fans, on the next edition of Inside the Heat, they'll look into the lives of Heat rookies Michael Beasley and Mario Chalmers. You can watch the players tour the Everglades and learn more about their lives growing up. It's Inside the Heat, Michael Beasley and Mario Chalmers, tomorrow at 4 o'clock, following the Heat and the Sixers game from Philadelphia, right here on Sun Sports. For a preview of tomorrow's Inside the Heat show, log on to sunsportstv.com and click on the Miami Heat link.
Yeah, the Heat jumps on a plane right after this game, flies to Philadelphia, starts a 4-game road trip.
Leader 14 of 17 at the foul line today. Dwayne Wade with 22 points. Miami's up by 6, largest lead of the afternoon for the Heat. And Chalmers knocked it away. Well, with the Heat up by 6, we get a timeout with 5:42 left in the third quarter. A third quarter where Dwayne Wade surpassed Alonzo Mourning as Miami's all-time scoring leader. When we come back, Jason Jackson will talk to the man Dwayne Wade just passed. As Miami's all-time scoring leader, he just moved past Alonzo Mourning in 213 fewer games. A great one, passing another great one. And as promised, Jason Jackson sitting courtside next to Heat legend Alonzo Mourning, a man who will have his number hanging from the rafters by the end of the month.
Eric, thank you very much. Here with Miami Heat's number 2 all-time scorer. Alonzo, knowing the relationship you have with Dwayne, being a fellow champion, being a philanthropic figure with him, lifting him up as well, I imagine you're okay. He's the man that's replacing you.
Listen to me. I'm excited for him. I'm just glad I'm here to witness that particular moment. You know, he's probably playing some of the best basketball I've seen from any player in a very, very long time, you know. And if anybody had to take that torch, I was rooting for him to do it.
They did it on a dunk, so that's appropriate. A little chin up, too, on it.
Very appropriate. You know, records are made to be broken, and I knew that it was only a matter of time that he was going to do it, especially with the way he's putting the ball in the basket right now.
Do you have an official opinion on this MVP debate that's rolling around now that America has decided that Dwayne is playing at the same level as LeBron and Kobe?
You know what? We could be here all day talking about my opinions about the MVP. Voting, you know, because I felt like I should have won it back in the 90s, you know, but it's so political and it's unfortunate that it is that way. And I don't have anything against the media, but I don't think the media should have anything to do with choosing who the MVP is. I think the coaches and the players should have that decision as well as the people in the front office, you know, but I think D-Wade is very much deserving of being the MVP of this league this year, you know, just based on his leadership, on and off the court, you know, and the impact that he's having on his team, you know, and how he's making all his other teammates better. You know, I think he's very much deserving of getting the award this year.
Before we started our conversation, Eric alluded to a great event that's coming down the avenue. In just about 2 weeks, number 33 is going up in the rafters. As the time nears us, how is the excitement building in you?
Well, you know, I really don't want to think about it, you know, because Jason is very bittersweet to me, you know, and obviously, you know, part of me wants to still be out there and trying to help my teammates, you know, possibly, you know, win another championship. And then the other part of me, tell you the truth, and I don't miss how I felt waking up in the morning after games.
Well, yesterday we were in the right place at the golf course watching Tiger. We'll be there next playing with each other. It's good to see you as always.
Good to see you too, man. Thank you.
All right. Eric and Tony, back over to you.
Thank you, Jax. You know, for years we'd love to see Alonzo Mourning scowl. Now nothing makes us happier than seeing Alonzo Mourning smile. We want to thank Alonzo not only for all he's done for the Miami Heat, all he did for us, Coach,
Yes.
on our beautiful tournament, golf tournament, and Call of the Game dinner the other night. We awarded Zoe's wife, the lovely and talented Tracy Wilson Mourning, with our Community Service Award. And the Mourning family enjoyed the night with us. They really stepped up for us.
No doubt. You know, we had an unbelievable day and evening that day. We raised a lot of money for two great causes, Day School Athletic Foundation and Lawrence Kids. And can't say enough about Scott Rothstein and Ron Book. And, you know, you and I were there. And a guy like Alonzo Mourning, the way he supported that event, people like that, it's just unbelievable. And we want to thank everybody, the committee members and everyone involved with it. And
The award was very meaningful because it was Sonny Hirsch, the 28-year voice of the Miami Hurricanes that originally brought Hank Goldberg into the profession of radio.
No, it was a great, and we are appreciative to everyone who helped us do that. We're going to get bigger and better next year. And just to go back to what Zoe said, Eric, I agree with Zoe. I think they should take the voting out of the media's hands and give it to basketball people, because not everyone watches all the games. You know, your tendency is to vote for guys who are on national TV every night. And you know, the debate right now is you got Kobe and LeBron leading their teams with the best records in the NBA or near it. And is it easier to play with is it harder to play with guys that are talented and stay on top in both, you know, in both conferences, or is it what Dwayne Wade's doing, where he's got two rookies and two second-year players that he has to lead, and you know, and the many statistical areas that Wade is playing so well. So to me, that's the debate.
It's splitting hairs. It really is, because you're talking about three of the game's all-time greats who are all having outstanding years. LeBron and Kobe are doing it with conference-leading teams. Dwayne Wade has lifted his team to 20 wins more, and tonight he has 26 points. But I want to go back to what you and Zoe both talked about, having the coaches and players rather than the media voting on the MVP. I agree with that too, but you can't just say on the MVP. You either vote on all the awards.
That's true. Let them all vote. Yeah,
or none. So
no, I agree with that.
It's not as simple as just saying let them vote for the MVP.
Because some media people are voting based on what they read, not what they see. You know, it becomes different. It's a different way to.
Players would do the same, though. Players don't see every game either. So there's no perfect way to fix an imperfect system and a very subjective thing, such as voting for an MVP or a Defensive Player of the Year, even a Rookie of the Year. Kyle Korver knocked it away from Moon. And this is Deron Williams with Brewer to his left. He finds him, and Brewer puts it home. How about Deron Williams waiting till the perfect instant to make the pass?
Hey, he picked up his 8 assists on that play. He's a guy, as we mentioned, only he and Chris Paul averaging double, his 9th assist on the play. They're the only two guys averaging double-figure assists in the NBA.
Ron Brewer has 12 points in this game. The Heat lead by 2. Head finds Haslam. And Wade missing on the putback dunk attempt. D-Wade with 27 points in this afternoon's game. Brewer. This is Boozer from 20. And the rebound down to Udonis Haslem. That's 6 rebounds for Haslem. 3 other Heat players have 5 rebounds, including Wade and Jamario Moon. And Jermaine O'Neal, for that matter. Beasley against Millsap, and Michael draws a foul. Michael Beasley will have a couple of free throws waiting him after this timeout here in Miami, with the Heat holding off Utah. It's a 2-point lead at the moment. Brown scored 51 points in Cleveland's 126-123 overtime win at Sacramento. The 5th career game for LeBron James. of over 50 points in a game.
He's got 3 triple-doubles in a row on that West Coast trip.
It ended with a 50-point game. How about that?
Yes. And meanwhile, this quarter, Eric, the Heat have out-rebounded Utah 12-5. That's why the Heat have this 4-point lead.
By the way, the last guy to have 4 straight triple-doubles, a guy named Michael Jordan. Kyle Korver knocks that in. Korver has 16 points in this game and 19 minutes off the bench. Kyle Korver has made 7 of his 9 shots. Tony, the Heat holding Utah off, but still allowing 53% shooting to the Jazz. Haslam hands off to Wade with under 2 minutes left in the third. Gets it back, and an offensive foul. Korver took the hit and drew the charge on Udonis. That's Haslam's first foul.
The Heat bench doesn't agree with it. Let's watch this again. I think the Heat bench thought he was moving on that play. I mean, they had a better angle than we did. On that replay, looked like a pretty good call. But if he was moving laterally to his left, then it wasn't. So you got to go with the call. The ref made it.
Just the 7th turnover on the Heat today. They've forced 9. And at 40 left, third quarter, Darren Williams, nice change of direction. Missed the jumper. Boozer with a rebound. That's Millsap underneath. And good defense down on the end line by Jamario Moon. And they will jump it up. Haywood Workman could not discern who knocked it out of bounds. So Moon will be in a jump ball situation with the 6'8" Paul Millsap.
That's a good call by Workman. Don't guess. If you're not sure, let him jump it up.
Haywood Workman, former NBA point guard for a number of seasons out of Oral Roberts University. He's spent time with Indiana, Atlanta, and others. And it's great to see the transition from player to official. Another guy that did it, Leon Wood. Bernie Fryer, coach, do you think that's a natural evolution going from player to official?
Well, if you want to stay in the game, you can coach, you can referee. You know, I'm surprised that more guys haven't done it. There's only been 3 that we know of in many years. Now, the officials are trying to discern, I think, the shot clock right now. They're going to decide. I think that's what they're talking about. Because, you know, when the offensive team, when there's a jump ball, the clock stays that way for the offensive team. I think, let's see, we see where, trying to look where Chalmers is going now. Ahead. We're going to try to hit it right there. That's where Moon's going to try to see the 2 black shirts are going to try to seal their man away from the ball. And they're trying to do Millsap's trying to do the opposite to the white shirts. He wins the tap, Millsap.
Utah down by 2, 1:25 remaining in the third quarter here in Miami. He played the Sixers in Philadelphia tomorrow afternoon, a 1 p.m. tip right here on Sun Sports. Good help defense by Moon to knock it out of there. 3 on the shot clock. Now 1. Wade stripped it. Here he comes.
You know, Eric, that was very close.
Why wasn't that a shot clock violation?
Luther had it in his hands before the shot clock went off. That's a very thin line there, whether you call 24-second clock and give the ball to the Heat or let them continue. I think they're going to look at that in the offseason and maybe change the call. If it's anywhere near possession by the defense, they should let them have it rather than take away the fast break.
Meanwhile, Boozer got it right back for Jerry Sloan's Jazz, plus Dwayne Wade's 3rd foul. Carlos Boozer will go to the line with 15 points.
Let's watch this again. Okay, watch the shot clock up in the right-hand corner. All right, watch Luther Head catches the ball. Up in the right-hand corner, you can see the clock right here. Okay, he's got the ball. Luther Head has the ball. The shot clock had 1 second on it. So that was a good call by the officials not to take away the fast break.
And great camera work. Kudos to the Sun Sports camera guys and producer-director Ted Ballard. He got you a perfect look at it.
A.J. Speaks doing a good job with that.
Owens. Here's Moon for 3. And the rebound bouncing right to Korver with the Jazz down 1. Brevin Knight at the throttle. Knight filling in for Darren Williams, who's on the bench with 18 points and 10 assists. Haslam pulls down the rebound. That's 7 boards for Udonis. You know, when the Heat won in Utah back on December 3rd, it was a 93-89 victory. And on that game, they held the Jazz under 40% shooting. Today, the Jazz are just over 50%. Wade double team, gets by both, finds Udonis with a jumper. He hit it. And the Heat are up 3 with 4 seconds left in the third.
And Dwayne Wade with his 29 points picks up his 5th assist to go with 5 rebounds.
And Ronnie Brewer misses a 3 at the end of the third quarter. Well, the third quarter might have been Miami's best quarter of the game. Back-to-back 32-point quarters for Miami. A third quarter that saw Dwayne Wade assume his rightful spot as the Heat's all-time scoring leader. Quarter underway. Miami leading Utah 83-80. Coach, been a very good game.
Yes, the crowd's into it. Every game's like a playoff game for the Heat because they want to get that fourth seed. You said it earlier. It's going to be difficult because Atlanta's on a long home stretch while the Heat have to go on a 4-game road trip. How about Luther Head driving to the basket, hitting the runner?
Head in his Heat debut, he's played 17 minutes. You know, Coach, it's not only about catching Atlanta for fourth. How about just holding the number 5 spot? The Pistons are only 2 games season series, Miami and Detroit. That is even at 1 with 2 games still remaining to be played. And believe it or not, the Pistons have been better since the injury to Allen Iverson. Rip Hamilton is back in the starting lineup and putting up big-time numbers for the Pistons.
Yeah, they're getting more people involved. Rip Hamilton's more comfortable in that starting position. They're either going to play the Pistons next Sunday on ABC, and then they have the last game of the year at home against the Pistons. That may determine who's going to, if the Heat are going to be 5th or higher than that or lower. You know, it depends on that, maybe on that last game.
Dwayne Wade getting a breather with 29 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists.
And, you know, right before that, the last road game of the season is in Atlanta. And then right after that, the last home game with Detroit. So those last 2 games could determine where the Heat will be in the playoff picture.
Now, Coach, it's speeding right by us. After today, only 17 games left for Miami. 11 of them will be on the road. And in April, the Heat play 5 of 8 on the road. Those could be important for Miami to hold on to what they have. They're going to have to start winning games on the road this year. The Heat are 12-18 away from South Florida. Some big games still remain to be played. The Heat are going to have to finish strong.
Yeah, the Heat might have it would be better for them if they had a West Coast swing left. The Heat was 3-2 and 4-3 on 2 West Coast trips this year.
Andrei Kirilenko with 6 points. Utah's down by 2. What a shootout. Jazz are at 52% for the game. The Heat are at 48%. Here's Jermaine O'Neal. The jumper is good. 18 points for Jermaine O'Neal. His best performance in a Heat uniform was his 19 at Cleveland. He did have a 36-point game in Sacramento this year, but he was wearing a Toronto Raptors jersey when he did it.
That time he scored on 3 defenders. There were 3 white shirts around them.
Heat by 4. Their biggest lead's been 6. Kirilenko. It counts, plus a foul. Andrei Kirilenko, I thought it might have been a travel.
That's what I thought. Constant movement by Utah, though. They really run their offense to perfection. You've got to really watch this. Kirilenko curls his man, gets into the lane area. And Jermaine O'Neal got there late. Watch this again. He's going to go up. Yeah, he took an extra step, Eric.
3 steps?
Yeah, you only allowed 2. You allowed 1, and then the second one to the rim. He took the third one to the rim, and Jermaine was there late.
And Kirilenko, after missing that second free throw, did get his own rebound. 8 points for Kirilenko, along with 3 boards and another Heat foul here. With 10 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Mario Chalmers picking up the foul. That is the first on Chalmers. The 3rd team foul on Miami here in the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Utah going with Brevin Knight, Andrei Kirilenko, Kyle Korver, Paul Millsap, and Mehmet Okur. The Heat with Head and Chalmers in the backcourt. James Jones, Michael Beasley, and Jermaine O'Neal up front. Loose ball. Who gets it? Michael Beasley does.
It's an important juncture here for the Heat. With Wade out, they still got to generate offense, just like they did earlier at the beginning of the second quarter when Wade was out.
Heat trying to sweep the season series from the Utah Jazz. If they do, it would be the 4th time in the last 5 years. O'Neal again. 20 points for Jermaine O'Neal. His best scoring game since joining the Heat 13 games ago.
How about they took away the right shoulder? They turned over the left and buried that mid-range shot. As the Heat come back in the 2-3 zone. Oh, good attack by Utah. That was beautiful.
Nice pass by Kirilenko. Paul Millsap with a finish. 5 points for Millsap.
Eric, you know what Utah's doing against the zone? They're attacking from behind. That's one of the principles of attacking the zone. Come at an area where you're out of the vision, the peripheral vision of the defender.
Jazz have 29 points off of their bench. And Beasley, well, with that dribble, he let 3 defenders converge on him. Kirilenko on the drive. What a finish for Andrei Kirilenko. That was a power finish.
That really was. He had Jermaine O'Neal trying to block the shot, and he finished strong.
Well, we are tied for the 4th time today. 8:38 remaining in the game. Chalmers with a burst. He lost the ball. And out of bounds off Utah. With 8:33 remaining in the 4th quarter. Timeout here at the American Airlines Arena. Game is even at 89.
Why is this game tied? Good passing by the Jazz. You see Kirilenko passing to Millsap inside. And then Kirilenko on that strong drive to the basket. Watch as he eludes Jermaine O'Neal trying to block it. Good play. Tie game when we come back.
From Toronto, Jermaine O'Neal has 20 points, 5 rebounds. He's made 7 of his 12 shots. But we're tied at 89 with 8.5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Luther Head jacks it up. And the rebound comes down to Paul Millsap. Knight finds Okur. Good fake from 3. Millsap blocked by O'Neal, but that's a goaltend. And unfortunately for Miami, a goaltend by O'Neal on a shot that had no chance at going in.
Oh, you're right. It would have been short, but it did hit the board, I believe. And that's why he got called on the goaltending.
6 consecutive points for Utah. And the Jazz have taken a 2-point lead. 8 minutes remaining. D. Wade still on the bench. Now he's heading to the scorer's table. Here's O'Neal. And that comes down to Millsap, who is gobbling up rebounds. He has 5 off the bench. Riven Knight. Boy, that's a luxury as a backup point guard. Chalmers comes up with a steal. He'd have numbers. 4-on-1. And Haslem goes down on the foul by Paul Millsap. And there is an art to doing that. It was a 4-on-1 break for Miami. And Millsap, that's a wise move, Coach. Wasn't dirty, wasn't flagrant, just a smart foul.
Very smart. Don't give him the layup. Put him on the foul line. Good hard call or hard foul. Watch it again. Good steal by Chalmers. 4th best in the NBA in steals. With Wade in the backcourt there at number 2.
And that was Mario Chalmers' first steal today. Wade has 3 of them. And D. Wade has had 4 steals in 3 consecutive games, not including today. He also extended his 3-point streak to an 11th straight game. He has 9 consecutive games with at least 1 steal.
And Chalmers, number 4 overall in the league, number 1 among all rookies in steals.
Well, the Heat are 20 of 23 from the foul line in this game. Haslem has 8 points and 7 rebounds. We are even at 91. 7.5 minutes left. Kirilenko underneath. Hammers it home. Andre Kirilenko. He can hurt you in so many ways on each end of the court.
No doubt at 6'9" with those long arms. He's come alive here in the 4th quarter.
He did not play in the first matchup between these clubs. Neither did Boozer. Today they're both playing well. 16 points and 9 rebounds for Boozer. 12 points off the bench for Kirilenko.
Eric, I think the official saw the second call right here.
And I believe he was also assessed with a technical foul.
You know what? I was watching this play. When James Jones went through the lane, Okur gave him a shot. And I think James Jones reacted. And Bill Spooner saw the second part of the play and gave James Jones a technical foul.
That is out of the ordinary for the usually mild-mannered Miami native.
And it's usually automatic for Korver at the foul line. He's a terrific foul shooter, 89%. Watch right here as he goes. See right there, Okur gave Jones a shot, and then Jones retaliated. I thought that Okur could have gotten a foul on the initial play.
Now Kyle Korver converts the free throw. Korver has 17 points today. Korver twice this year has scored 20. That's his season high. Jazz ahead by 3. Wade comes up short. Tries to get his own rebound back. The chase is on. Wade and Williams, and a timeout for Utah.
Williams called timeout while Wade was trying to tie him up. Good call by Williams. It's going to be Jazz ball up 3. A little over 7 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Watch the way these guys are hustling, man. You don't think these guys want this game both sides? Look at the hustle that goes on here. Wade's trying to get back in it. Udonis gets after it. Williams is calling timeout as he's getting the ball. Utah ball when we come back.
Miami Heat basketball on Sun Sports is being brought to you by Largo Honda. Still no Sharks. by the Florida Lottery. The all-new billion-dollar blockbuster scratch-off game from the Florida Lottery. With over $1 billion in prizes, you could win up to $10 million instantly. Play Billion-Dollar Blockbuster today. And by Chevy. Find your Chevy today at ChevyDealer.com.
Welcome back to the American Airlines Arena on a 6-game NBA Saturday. Our game's the only matinee. There are the other games tonight in the NBA. The Bulls have lost 3 in a row. They're trying to chase down the Bucks and get that 8th and final playoff spot. The Denver Nuggets, right now number 7 in the NBA's Western Conference, only a half game behind the Utah Jazz.
All 4 of those games in the Central Time Zone.
Under 7 minutes left in this fourth quarter. The Jazz on the move. Kirilenko misses the 3. Moon brings down the rebound. Tony obviously a critical part of the game. The Jazz on a 9-2 run to take this 3-point lead. 6:40 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Without Daquan Cook tonight, the Heat bench is being outscored 36-18 as Wade gets to the rim.
Well, those are Dwayne Wade's first points of the fourth quarter. He's got 31 for the game. His 32nd game this year with at least 30 points.
Almost half the Heat's games.
Oh, how about that? That is vintage Utah basketball. Give and go. They get a layup. Deron Williams now with 20 points. Williams also has 10 assists. That's another terrific game for one of the game's best point guards.
Eric, this is the Heat's 65th game, and D. Wade has had over 30 points 32 times.
As Dwayne Wade, he's been Miami's top scorer in 57 games already.
How about he's been the leader in assists 50 times?
3-point Utah lead, 5:44 left. Here's Kirilenko turning on Moon. Blocked by O'Neal. That's big time. Wade could not catch up to a very hard-to-catch bounce pass from Mario Chalmers. Bad time to commit a turnover, especially when you have only 8 all day. And that's the team total for Miami. 8 turnovers. They've scored 20 points off 12 Utah turnovers. Jazz have a 7-rebound advantage. And Utah, their biggest edge, 55% shooting. And it comes more from great execution than great perimeter shooting. But Kyle Korver gives them both. Korver, is that a 3?
Yes.
So Kyle Korver now has 20 points for the 3rd time this year. Korver been a killer. 8 for 10 shooting. And, Coach, hard to beat Utah when you let the Jazz shoot 56%. Remember, this year, Utah is 21-4 when they're over 50%.
And how about Korver? 41% three-point shooter, really stretches the defense. Buries the 3, puts Utah up 6. Heat timeout, Heat ball when we come back. 3 coming into the quarter. Why is Utah up 6? Well, you talked about the Heat defense, or lack of. Utah's 8 for 10 from the floor in this quarter. The Heat's 4 for 11.
Wade missing a 3. The Jazz on a 14-4 run. Moon got it back with just under 5 minutes left. This is a critical possession for Miami.
Give Udonis Haslem a lot of credit for knocking that ball loose so Moon could steal it. That diagonal pass is always a tough one to make, to get it to a teammate, because it's usually stolen.
Well, the hustle for Chalmers, but the Heat will remain on the defensive end. Utah shooting 56%. 20 points each for Deron Williams and Kyle Korver.
Look at this hustle by Chalmers. He tries to get after it. The ball's a little too quick getting out of bounds. And now Coach Sloan in Utah's got you right where they want you. They got that great execution in the half court with a 6-point lead.
Moon on Kirilenko. This is Okor. He was fouled by Haslem with only 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Second foul on Udonis. And for Miami, that is the 4th team foul.
Yeah, UD kind of bailed them out with the shot clock running down, although Okor did make a shot like that earlier off the board, the runner.
Okor averaging 18 points a game this year on 50% shooting. A one-time All-Star back in 2007. Okor, remember, was the 38th pick in the 2001 draft.
This game's getting away from the Heat a little bit here.
Wade missed it, got it back, and then lost it. And the Jazz have it. They are on a 16-4. And they've scored 7 unanswered.
Yeah, the Heat are down 8 now. A little over 4 minutes left. They've got to get some stops, obviously. Looks like Utah's pretty much getting a good shot every time down the floor.
That's what they do. 4 on the shot clock for the Jazz. The cut by Korver. And the block. Loose ball rebound, knocked out of bounds by Miami.
Eric Millsap is tough in there. He's the 3rd best offensive rebounder in the NBA at 3.5 a game. Watch a block by Wade.
Oh, man.
1 second on the shot clock. Korver threw it up, and Millsap fought for the rebound, and the Heat knocked it out of bounds.
So Dwayne Wade blocked that shot by Korver before it ever left Korver's hands. 8-point Utah lead, 3:40 left in the game. The bounce pass deflected by Chalmers, stolen by Wade. Here's Rio on the run. Hammered it down.
Oh, he had to do that. Kirilenko might have blocked it. Williams tried to foul Wade when he got the ball, but he was too late getting there, and Chalmers finishes the play.
15 points for Mario Chalmers. The Heat better dig in on this end.
Wade got his 6th assist.
And another Heat foul on the Deron Williams point-blank field goal attempt. Udonis picking up his 3rd. The Heat now over the limit.
Deron Williams shooting 82% this year from the foul line.
You wonder how the Heat won in Utah. Boozer and Kirilenko both missed the game. And this guy didn't have a very good game. 13 points with 6 turnovers. He's been much, much better today.
Yeah, that was the end of the road trip, wasn't it, for the Heat when they won that last game? Wound up 3-2 on that road trip.
Deron Williams, quite a player. The 3rd pick out of Illinois in the 2005 draft. Averaging right around what he was last year, just under 19 points per game. Today, he's got 22, along with 11 assists.
It's always an interesting, a great big man.
Both. Then you win a championship.
That's right.
Dwayne Wade knocks it home. Wade with 33. Miami down 6.
Yeah, you always have a chance with ball, but obviously they've got to get some stops, the Heat does.
Williams setting up Millsap for another score. Deron Williams does it all for his team.
12 assists.
And Millsap, coach, has 9 points, 7 of them here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, very underrated player in the NBA.
Wade guarded by Kirilenko, leans in, doesn't get the foul, but he gets the 3.
Oh, wow.
His 3rd triple today. Wade has 36. There's still hope. The Heat are within 5. But the Heat need stops as badly as they need scores. And right now, Miami in a stretch of committing fouls.
The Heat are complaining that let's see this 3 first by Wade. He thought he was going to get the foul, and he didn't get it. But the Heat players thought Kirilenko set an illegal screen right there, but the Heat got the foul.
You know, keep in mind, Mario Chalmers picking up that foul. Tony, Dwayne Wade had 85 triples through his first 5 seasons. He has 69 this year.
The trainer for the Utah Jazz is tending to some blood on Millsap's face.
Oh, Dwayne Wade's got a Band-Aid that would fit perfectly in that spot.
He's not giving it up. Get a little impromptu timeout here due to that. Cleaning up the blood.
Well, recently, the untimely passing of longtime Utah Jazz owner Larry Miller. This was a great man for Salt Lake. He began his fortune with a series of car dealerships. That's where he gained his fortune, but his passion was right there, watching his Utah Jazz play night after night. Our condolences to the Miller family.
Yeah, terrific, passionate owner.
And those patches they're wearing with his initials on it, that logo goes all the way back to the Jazz origination when they were the New Orleans Jazz, a moniker that made a lot more sense when they played in New Orleans.
It does, doesn't it? Utah Jazz.
Deron Williams getting the first of 2. By the way, Dwayne Wade today extended his NBA streak 20-plus games with, actually 21 games in a row with 20 points or better. It's the longest current streak in the NBA and the longest since LeBron James went 49 straight games from December 07 to March of 08.
Yeah, D-Wade picked up his 80th straight game of double figures. That's his record and the franchise record.
24 points for Deron Williams. It's a 107-100 lead for Utah. Dwayne Wade just took a knee to the thigh. He's hurting a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a little, his left ankle's a little sore. He's got a sore hip. This time of the year, guys are banged up, you know, when you're into the 60s of games played.
And Dwayne Wade has played in every game for Miami, all 65. So has Mario Chalmers. They've started every game in the backcourt together. Miami needs a score, then they need a series of stops.
You see the double team of Wade. Utah's going to get it out of his hands. That's going to be short. Wade with the rebound, obviously.
Kirilenko saves it into Okoro. And here comes Utah, 2-on-2 break. And Deron Williams slows it down.
Now the clock becomes your adversary as well. Under 2 minutes left. You're down by 7. Now it becomes paramount that you get stops.
Deron Williams on the spin with 4 to shoot. Now 3. Okoro just flings it up there. And an offensive foul on Mehmet Okoro.
Yeah, loose ball foul on Okoro. Going for the rebound, but they're not over the limit, Utah. That puts them right at the limit now. Both teams now are in the penalty.
You know, the Jazz this year, when they score over 100 points, are 31-7. The Heat reaching 100 points today. Miami scored 100 or better in 8 of the last 10 games. Jamario Moon comes out for Miami. James Jones comes in, and there he is, shooting a 3. Now it's a long 2, and it misses. And Millsap hugging his 7th rebound.
Yeah, Spoelstra goes right to running a play for James Jones.
Now the Heat had a 26-5 record when they carried a lead into the 4th quarter.
Yeah, 17-2 at home.
They've been outscored in the 4th quarter today by 10. And the rebound of Jones with 1:02 left. Time's a wasting with the Heat down 7. Dwayne Wade has 36. The Heat need more, and Chalmers was fouled.
Bad foul by Kirilenko. He's reaching in there with the ball, you know, 30 feet, 26 feet from the basket. Stops the clock, puts a good foul shooter on the line. That's exactly what the Heat wanted there.
Mario Chalmers, who's had 2 good games this year against the #1 pick in the NBA, Derrick Rose of the Bulls. Chalmers scoring 16 and 17 points against Rose this year. Chalmers today has 16 points. He's been in double figures in 6 of his last 7. He's now averaging over 10 points a game for Miami as Jermaine O'Neal steps off.
Yeah, the Heat go smaller now with their defense, 4 perimeter guys, and Udonis in the middle.
Jermaine O'Neal today, a Heat high for him. He's got 20 points. Kirilenko finds Korver. An offensive foul. Wow. Kirilenko making back-to-back mistakes. A bad foul, and then a bad offensive foul as Moon took the hit.
He giveth and taketh it away. He was paramount to giving this team a lead earlier in the quarter. And watch as he take the foul. Jamario Moon taking it. And now you've got the Heat are going to get Jermaine O'Neal back in the game. They're going to run offense-defense here if they can, if there's dead ball situations.
So Jermaine comes in, Jamario goes out. The 2 players that came from Toronto in a deal that sent Sean Marion and Marcus Banks to the Raptors.
How about that move by the Heat coaching staff? They get Moon in the game for defense, and he draws a charge.
45 seconds left. The Heat are down 5. They got to get a score here. Wade wanted 3. Guarded by the taller Kirilenko. He blows by him. Hands it off. Haslam dunks it home.
D-Wade with his 7th assist. The Heat's down 3 now. They don't need the foul. Plenty of time on the clock.
33 seconds left in a thriller. Kirilenko from Millsap. Blocked by Jermaine O'Neal.
Oh, wow.
He blocked the dunk. 25 seconds left. Miami down 3. Here comes Wade. Out to Chalmers for 3. In and out. James Jones got the rebound. He also got fouled with 16 seconds left. The Heat will have possession, trailing by 3.
Yeah, the Heat's going to go to the foul line. James Jones will go. What a great play by Jermaine O'Neal. Millsap goes to the basket. Watch O'Neal We talked about how terrific he is blocking the shot with the left hand. That's textbook technique on how to block a shot of the guy driving to the basket with the right hand.
Jermaine O'Neal, he knows how to do that. 30th all-time in block shots in the NBA. He's got 3 blocks today, over 1,500 in his NBA career, which has spanned 13 seasons. Not bad for a young man that came out of high school in Columbia, South Carolina, to the NBA some 13 years ago.
Eric, Utah's got 1:20 and 1 full timeout left. Oh, it went off light. Miami ball. Miami's got 2 20s and a full left. Coach Spoelstra will use one of his timeouts, get them in a huddle, and see if they can run a good play here to get 2 points or 3, either tie it or take the lead.
What a fortunate play for Miami after James Jones misses his second free throw. Millsap has it go off his foot out of bounds. So now it's a 3 to win and a 2 to tie.
Oh, you gotta love it. Udonis Haslem does this to everybody. They try to keep him off the his offensive boards, and they wind up hitting the ball out of bounds. That's a team rebound for the Miami Heat. Full timeout for Coach Spoelstra. Let's see the play that they come out of the timeout with. See if he can get a good shot and tie or go ahead in this game.
Well, what a pivotal play with 15 seconds left. Miami scored the last 5 points in a 39-second span just when it looked like it was lost. At 107-100, back they come. Well, this has been a rivalry between Miami and Utah that is close, and we've had some thrillers. Check this out. Wade has the ball, and the game is in his hands. He puts it up. It is good! He did it! Dwayne Wade has won the game! 39 points! A new career high! 5 seconds to go. Here comes Wade. Pump fakes. Goes up. And wins the game! He wins the game at the buzzer! It bounced once. It went home. Dwayne Wade wins it for Miami. Now, how about a trifecta for Wade against Utah?
What do you think? He's getting the ball in the after the timeout here. You know, obviously Utah's going to try to deny Dwayne Wade. And one of the things they go over in the huddle, I'm sure, is spreading out to get good balance on the floor. Because if the Wade can't get the ball, somebody else is going to have to take the shot. But with 15 seconds left, you expect the ball in Wade's hands. And you know, Eric, you don't wait right here to take a shot. When you're down 2, you want to be able to get the shot up as soon as possible, so it gives you more than one opportunity. You know, maybe you can get the offensive rebound if you missed a shot.
Here comes Wade with 8. Wade down the lane for the tie. Rebound, Jones, down he goes. And we get a foul with 3.9 seconds left. James Jones can tie it from the free throw line.
How about when they inserted James Jones late in this game? They put him in to stretch the defense, maybe get a 3. He's really coming through on the interior of the Heat in the basket. As you can see, Wade missed it. Jones gets the rebound, gets knocked down. Looked like maybe Kirilenko. This is a shot that Wade usually makes. He'll get the rebound. Then he gets pushed by Korver, Kirilenko. Take your pick.
Well, the push was from Korver, but the foul was assessed to Kirilenko, and he's done. Andrei Kirilenko fouls out of the game. It's the first foul out this year for a young man out of Moscow. Well, James Jones, Tony, he's going to the line with the game on the line. Jones this year, a 77% free throw shooter. He's 10 for 13 for the season, and he needs both to pull Miami even with just under 4 seconds left.
Utah's got 120 and 1 full left. The Heat's got 2 20s.
He did it. We're tied at 107 with 3.9 seconds left. James Jones, a hometown hero from American High School in Miami and the University of Miami. He has made some huge plays for the Heat today.
How about the Heat down 107-100? Come back with 7 straight points, tie the game. little under 4 seconds left. They're going over in the huddle now what they think Utah's going to do to try to, get the game winner.
Well, Dwayne Wade's house of thrills doing it again. 7 points for Miami in the last 51 seconds.
Yeah, usually he makes that shot. He's upset with himself, but James Jones comes through big time. How about Udonis Haslem keeping that ball alive like he usually does? Now with the Heat down 1 after that first made free throw, James Jones makes the second. Utah calls timeout. Eric, we got to say it again. In situations twice this year with Chicago, we had another situation on the road in Los Angeles when they took it away from D-Wade. D-Wade usually comes up with a steal or a block shot or some kind of good big defensive play in a situation like that. Let's see if he can do it again.
Coach, I really enjoyed James Jones' approach at the free throw line. He was confident and he was quick with it. He didn't hesitate. He took 2 very quick free throws, knocked them both in. Now it's 107.
Yes.
Jerry Sloan, he's plotting his offensive strategy. Let's talk about this first. What do you think he's looking for?
He's going to try to get the ball in Deron Williams' hands. So, 4 seconds, 3.9 seconds, plenty of time. You can do a lot of things with it. Look for Deron Williams to get the ball, maybe penetrate, try to dish off to someone, maybe come off a screen, and then if no one plays him, he'll take the shot or hit an open man.
Okay, the Heat defense. What's Eric Spoelstra stressing here?
They're going to maybe bring a guy off the ball, but you got to be conscious of getting it back to him, when they throw it in. Maybe double team Deron Williams so he doesn't get the ball. Now Jermaine O'Neal's going back as a good shot blocker.
O'Neal, Moon, Wade, Haslem, and Chalmers. For the Jazz, it's Korver, Okur, C.J. Miles, Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
And Deron Williams.
It's a good matchup for the Heat with Okur and Boozer in the game. You got Udonis guarding Okur and O'Neal guarding Boozer.
Here we go with the game tied at 107 and just under 4 seconds left. Into Williams against Wade for the win. Overtime. Well, for the second time in 3 games, and for the 5th time this year, Miami headed to an extra 5 minutes. Seconds to force overtime.
Eric, the Heat are 4-0 in overtime, and the Utah Jazz are 1-1.
Well, Dwayne Wade has 36 points. Jermaine O'Neal has 20. Mario Chalmers has 17. For Utah, Deron Williams, 24 points and 12 assists. Carlos Boozer has 16 points. Kyle Korver, 20 off the bench.
Each team gets 3 timeouts in this overtime. 2 fulls and a 20.
Jazz shot 52% through 4 quarters. Miami 45%. There's Okur getting a 3.
It's important to get that first possession in overtime. Now you got the opposing team playing from behind.
Okur's second triple today. He's got 75 on the year on 45% from downtown. Mehmet with 11 points in this game. So the Jazz ahead by 3. Jermaine O'Neal, he's got 20 points. Double team. 6 to shoot. It's Wade. This is Jones with 2 on the shot clock. Chalmers with an air ball. And the Heat with a 24-second violation.
Good defense by Utah. They had everything covered that time. They double-teamed Jermaine O'Neal, and that forced the Heat to swing the ball and get stuck with the 24-second clock.
Well, the Utah Jazz, a team that's won 15 of their last 17 games. The Miami Heat have won 5 of their last 7, including 3 straight here at home. Looking to sweep the season series from the Jazz, and you see how well you have to play to beat Utah.
And the Heat, as we mentioned many times, they're going on a 4-game road trip. They like to get this home game before they go on that trip.
Boozer has it rim in and out. Rebound batted around, finally claimed by Jermaine O'Neal. That's rebound number 6 for the Heat starting center. 3:43 left in overtime. Jazz ahead by 3. Wade for the tie. Boozer with his 10th rebound. So Carlos Boozer has his 9th double-double. Nice pass. This is Korver for 3. That's trouble. That had trouble written all over it.
Yes, the Heat are going to call timeout right here. They thought that O'Neal got pushed by Boozer at the other end, but no call.
Kyle Korver has tripled 4 times in 6 attempts. He has a season-high 23 points. The former Creighton Blue Jay coming up in a big way today for Utah.
The guy that shoots 41% from the three-point line for his career. They find him open. He gives them the Jazz a 6-point lead. There with the Heat down 6, Coach Spoelstra was talking to the officials. He thought that Jermaine O'Neal got pushed on that rebound by Carlos Boozer. let's see this again. Let's see if we can see it. Shot goes up. Boozer's hand is right in his elbow, his forearm's right in the back of Jermaine O'Neal. It looked like he did give him a nudge. Usually there is an over the back, over the top on that call, but the Heat did not get it.
Well, Miami came from 7 down in the game's final minute to send it in overtime. LA has 3:19 left in OT to overcome a 6-point deficit. Dwayne Wade with 36 points through 4 quarters, looking for his first score here in the overtime.
Yeah, the Heat don't need a 3 here. Just take what they give you.
Got right to the rim and then got caught underneath the rim. And the Heat have missed all 3 of their shots here in the overtime.
Now they're in a position they were in the fourth quarter. They need some stops.
Grant Williams under composure always. Okor underneath. This is Korver. Open look.
Yeah.
Kyle Korver has absolutely killed the Heat today. Korver with a season-high 25 points. The Jazz have scored 8 straight here in overtime.
You see how meticulous they are when they have the lead. They make the shot clock go down and they get a good shot.
Jermaine O'Neal on the low box. Comes in for the hook. Miami 0 for 4 in the overtime. And the Jazz have scored all 8 points in this extra session. They're up 115 to 107.
I wonder what the statistics are, Eric, in overtime about the first, who wins the game with the first team scoring in overtime. I bet you it's pretty high for the team that scores first.
James Jones picking up the Heat foul, his second.
Kyle Korver hurting the Heat all night. He's one of those rhythm shooters. He gets in a groove. He's very difficult to stop. The baseline out of bounds play going to the basket. And that one put him up 6 in overtime. Just burying shots from all over the place. He's very difficult to guard because he's coming off those screens. He just spots up when you're trying to play guys penetrating to the rim, especially Williams. You can't stop Williams one-on-one. And when you double team him and you help in the lane, he finds the open man.
Coach, what's hurt Miami even more, 2 of the 3 field goals Utah's made in the overtime have been triples. The first score by Okor, and Kyle Korver a moment ago also with a 3.
How about Williams? 24 points, 13 assists, 5 rebounds.
Kyle Korver, who's in his 2nd year as a member of the Utah Jazz. He only had 7 points when these clubs met in December in Utah. Boozer underneath, had it blocked by Jermaine O'Neal. And that is the 4th block shot today for Jermaine. But Miami still has not scored here in overtime.
Small margin of error now. When you're down 8 under 2 minutes, you've got to execute at both ends.
Wade against Ronnie Brewer. Turns the corner. Still going. Finds O'Neal for the easy score. 22 for Jermaine. 8th assist for Dwayne.
Dwayne Wade has averaged 10.5 assists since the All-Star game, those 12 games previous to this game.
That's incredible. What he has now is what he's averaging over the last 12 games. 36 points and 10 assists. He's a little under that in the assist department. Okor. It rolls off. Wade with a rebound. The Heat are down 6. Minute 24 left in the overtime. When you got this guy, you always have a chance. Dwayne Wade, 38. It's a 4-point game.
Good use of a screen there. Now he obviously needs to get a couple of more stops.
4 straight points for Miami now.
The defense always, usually this team, the defense fuels their offense. And an offensive foul by Korver, trying to get open on James Jones. He used his arm right in front of the official. Good play by James Jones, denying Korver.
James Jones has had a significant role in this game.
Watch right here, you'll see it. Good camera work, guys. Easy call for the official, not a good play by Korver.
Here's Wade from 20. Jermaine O'Neal underneath. Grabs it. Gets it out to Chalmers with a fresh shot clock. Under a minute left here in overtime. Miami down 4. Wade against Brewer. The crossover. And the score.
Oh, there's 40. 11 times this year, D. Wade has scored 40 or more points. Wow.
Miami has scored the last 6.
And Eric, that time, Udonis slipped to the basket, taking the defender with him, which allowed Wade to go one-on-one. Some of those little subtle things are what help you in the game.
Deron Williams with 7 on the shot clock. Chalmers picked his pocket, comes up with a steal, hits ahead for Wade. Here he comes with Udonis. Haslem missed the dunk, but was fouled by Okor, and will have a chance to tie the game with 22 seconds left in overtime.
How about Chalmers coming up big with a steal? Watch this again. He pokes it away and then has the frame of mind to get it to Wade. 2-on-1 with Okoro. Of course, not going to give Udonis a dunk.
Yeah, I'm starting to have a Syracuse flashback.
What was it, 6?
6 overtimes 2 nights ago. An overtime win last night in the Big East tournament, and overtime is catching on. But how about the Heat? They had to score the last 7 points of regulation to force overtime. Then they fell behind in the overtime, 115-107. They've scored 6 straight. Haslam needs 2 to tie. He did it.
There it is.
8 straight points for Miami to tie the game at 115.
When you got Deron Williams on the floor, sometimes you don't need to call a timeout. Call out a play so the defense can't reset itself.
Deron Williams against the Heat defense. This is Boozer with 9. The jumper. No good. Rebound away. Timeout Miami. A chance to win the game in the final 5.5 seconds.
How about Jermaine O'Neal defensively doing a good job on Boozer, not giving him a good look at the basket. 5.6 seconds. Plenty of time left for the Heat to get off a good play.
It already feels like the NBA playoffs here in Miami.
And can the Heat run off 10 straight points? Watch O'Neal's defense right here. Boozer could not get that shot. Wade knows what to do with it when he gets it. Timeout. And you know what the Heat coaches are going to do right here. You're going to try to get the ball to Wade, let him do his thing, and the Heat are going to have an opportunity to win this game, run off the last 10 points of the overtime, and go come away with a victory.
Dwayne Wade has 40 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. His 40 points today, the most ever scored by a Heat player against the Utah Jazz, surpassing his own 39-point game against the Jazz. And you know that he has set franchise records against 8 different opponents this year alone.
Just amazing. 11 times over 40 this year. We told you earlier that it's the 32nd time he's had over 30. 50 times he's led this team in assists. He's going to do it again tonight. And he's led the Heat in scoring 57 times. Tonight will be 58. It's just an amazing, amazing run by one of the great players in the game today.
Well, we started this game at 1 in the afternoon, an afternoon that is slowly turning into early evening. Miami will have possession with 5.6 seconds left here in the first overtime. The Heat will inbound from half court, needing just a point to win the game.
We talked about how young this team is with 2 rookies and 2 second-year players, but they've shown resiliency all year long. They've shown it again today, coming back in the fourth quarter late to tie the game. And now they were just down 8. They got a chance, the opportunity to win the game.
Utah scored the first 8 in overtime. The Heat have the last 8. James Jones, Mario Chalmers, Udonis Haslam, Jermaine O'Neal, and Dwayne Wade are on the floor. Ronnie Brewer in that far right corner defending Dwayne Wade.
Utah's in the penalty, so they can't give a foul here to try to make the Heat take it out again.
They deny it to Wade, who finally gets it with 5. Wade with 3. Wade with 2. Going up for the win. Double overtime.
Oh, tell me you weren't expecting that ball to go in. I was waiting for a swish. He's done it so many times. Good play, good defense by Utah. They had 2 guys on Wade. Really didn't get a good look at the basket.
Welcome to Syracuse South.
Watch this again. 2 defenders on him as he tries to go left. Good job by Brewer. He comes up short, but the Heat go into a second overtime.
Along with 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks. Coach, this is only the second triple overtime game in the history of the Miami Heat. The first one was back on November 20th, 1992, when the Heat lost 129-128 at Philadelphia. The Heat and the Jazz once played, a double overtime game, and this is the second overtime. I mistakenly said third. This is the second overtime here in Miami.
And he just had one with Chicago.
Tied at 115. The Jazz scored the first 8 in the first overtime. The Heat answered with the next 8. And now scored 10 unanswered points. Jermaine O'Neal with 24.
Miami scores first in the second overtime.
Can you imagine how they try to keep track of those overtimes in that Syracuse game? They probably thought it felt like 15 of them.
Andre Kirilenko's already fouled out. Here's Deron Williams, the jumper. He knots the game. Deron Williams with 26 points today. He's also got 13 assists. Not even near a season high in either category. Chalmers got an opening. What a play by Mario.
He crossover dribbled on Deron Williams as Williams tried to overplay to the pick and roll. Good read by Chalmers and a great finish.
19 points for Chalmers, and for those of you unfamiliar, in each overtime you play 5 additional minutes.
And you get 3 timeouts. You get 2 fulls and a 20 for each team.
Williams finds Brewer, 4 on the shot clock. Here's Williams again. Haslam comes down with his 10th rebound. Udonis Haslam with his 97th career double-double, his 17th this year. Home crowd is into this all day long. Jermaine O'Neal, he is really given the Heat scoring from in the painted area today. He comes up short there, but he has 24 points in this game, his best scoring game in his 13 played with Miami.
Good defense by Okor that time.
3 minutes left here in the second overtime. Williams, what a beautiful pass, but Boozer mishandled it.
O'Neal looked like he hit it off his leg. Wow, look at that. 17 turnovers by Utah. Good for 28 Heat points.
Dwayne Wade, ball's been in his hands most of the day. He has played 45 minutes in this game. So has Chalmers. Jones for 3.
That's too long.
Jermaine O'Neal trying to swipe it out, but here comes Deron Williams, accelerated and finishing. What a play, end-to-end for Deron Williams. The Jazz coaches in unison, off the bench, looking for the foul as well.
They thought Udonis fouled Williams on that play.
He's got 28 points, Deron Williams, 4 here in the second overtime. We are even at 119.
Man, how fast did Williams get that ball off the floor?
Wade thought twice about it. And that one goes over the top, out of bounds, and back to the Jazz in a game that is still even.
Brewer is doing a terrific job on D-Wade. He's making him work to the pass and then really playing good defense and not allowing Wade to get a clean look at the rim.
Dwayne Wade scoring 40 points or better for the 5th time in the last 8 games for Miami.
Now you see why it was so important for him to get so much rest that he got earlier, and that's a foul by Udonis.
Well, even with all that rest, Wade has played 46 minutes. Wade and Chalmers with 46 minutes. Udonis Haslam with 47 minutes. UD just picked up his 4th foul. For the Jazz, the leading minute man, Mehmet Okur with 47.
You know who wants this game to go 5 or 6 overtimes? Philadelphia. The team the Heat's playing tomorrow.
The 76ers played last night. Actually won at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Final NBA game that will ever be played at the Spectrum. They beat Chicago 104-101. Thaddeus Young scored 31 for the 76ers. Carlos Boozer, he's got 17 points and 13 rebounds today. So Boozer gets both the Jazz ahead by 2 with 2 minutes left here in double overtime.
Now the Heat are playing in familiar territory, playing from behind.
Wade drives to the paint, pulls up and hits. Dwayne Wade, his first points here in the second overtime. He's got 42 for the afternoon on 17 for 36 shooting. Boozer is passed down low, deflected, out of bounds. They say off Miami. I thought Korver hit it last.
Yeah, it looked like Korver. It looked like it went off Korver from here. Let's see this again. Can't tell. All that matters is what the ref called anyway.
Deron Williams off the inbounds. Missed it. And Udonis Haslam with his 11th rebound of the day. We're tied at 121. Will this game ever end?
Oh, boy.
A minute 30 left in double overtime. D. Wade got it again.
Oh, man. 44 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds.
Dwayne Wade, that was his 37th shot, which is a career high in field goal attempts.
He's at 50 this year, 48 and 46. Now he's got a 44.
Emmet Okur comes back with a huge score.
It ties the game at 123. 108 left at double overtime. Okur now has 13 points.
Wade against Brewer.
Drives right into him. Blocking foul on Ronnie Brewer.
Yeah, they reached first. Both Korver and Brewer reached before the Brewer tried to draw that charge. Wade gets to the foul line.
Ronnie Brewer and Darren Williams lodging their formal complaint to referee Tom Washington.
Yeah, he was moving anyway to his right. See, right there, he reached in with the right hand. That's a good call by the official. Brewer did not have position to draw that charge.
Very, very close call at best.
Tied at 123. A minute left in double overtime. These are spectacular numbers for the world's best player.
How about against the Knicks that night? 46 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 steals, and 3 block shots. It was the best statistical game in the 35 years the NBA's been keeping blocks and steals. And he's close to it now.
44 points he has, the most points anybody's put on Utah this year. He's got 45 and counting. By the way, playing 40 minutes, nothing new to Wade. He's done it 26 times this year, but he's played 47 minutes. He made them both. Miami's up 2. He has 46. Under a minute left in double overtime. Can the Heat hold on? Wade has Miami's last 6 points. .45 seconds left in double overtime. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Okur for 3. And Dwayne Wade down with his 9th rebound. The home crowd out of their seats. If the Heat score here, they'll be out of their minds.
This would be a big-time score if the Heat can get a basket here. All the pressure's on Brewer now to stop Wade.
Here's Wade against Brewer. Brewer reaching. 5 on the shot clock. Brewer won that battle. He tied him up for a jump ball with just under 20 seconds left here in double overtime.
Wade knew he was in trouble. He tried to get a timeout, but Brewer already tied him up. Watch this. Wade's going to look at the official, try to get a timeout. Brewer reaches in. See, Wade's trying to call a timeout there, but Brewer already has his hands on it. Now, Eric, there's 5 seconds on the shot clock. If D. Wade wins this jump ball, the Heat are going to have 5 seconds to score. If Utah gets it, Brewer's going to try to tap it there. Wade's going to try to tap it here.
Boy, that was a great, great defensive play by Ronnie Brewer.
It was.
Big jump ball. Wade has it deflect out. Brewer has it. Shot clock is off. The Jazz, they can either tie it, win it, or lose it here.
And they choose again, Jerry Sloan does, not to take a timeout.
Brewer on the drive. Williams puts it up for the tie. He did it with 3.4 left in double overtime. We're tied at 125. A timeout for Miami.
Coach Spoelstra.
The endless adventure.
Coach Spoelstra called timeout before the Heat inbounded the ball. Otherwise, the Heat wouldn't have been allowed to get it at half court. Watch this again. This was not a good play by the Heat players. You know you got to get a timeout here, so you get it at half court. You're going to see Williams score. Now, Spoelstra at the other end is calling timeout with the official there. It's a good thing they put that rule in a few years ago that the coach is allowed to call timeout. Otherwise, the Heat wouldn't be allowed to get it at half court. You can't advance the ball and then call timeout and get it at half court. Not in the last 2 minutes of overtime or in the fourth quarter. So, all said and done, the Heat will have the ball on the side. 3.4 seconds left of the tie game in second overtime.
What an incredible afternoon of basketball here in Miami.
And this is the 4th game of a 5-game road trip for Utah. They will finish up tomorrow afternoon in Orlando at 4 o'clock.
The Heat play the next 4 and 6 of their next 7 on the road beginning tomorrow in Philadelphia. 1 o'clock tip right here on Sun Sports. All right, Coach. Seems obvious. We know the Heat are going to want to get it to Wade. but Utah knows that as well. That is Spoelstra counter.
Well, you know, you remember when Chicago tried to double team Wade off the guy taking the ball out of bounds. Right now, look for the Heat. James Jones took it out last time. Let's see if the Heat have a play where if his man comes off him like he did last time, Wade can get it right back to Jones for a jumper.
Dwayne Wade has 46 points in this game, along with 9 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks.
If you're Jerry Sloan, obviously you want somebody else to try and beat you, not D. Wade.
Well, right here for the Heat, it's win or go on to a third overtime.
Let's see who takes it out for the Heat. Looks like Mario Chalmers is going to take it out.
He's got Jermaine O'Neal, James Jones, Udonis Haslem, and Dwayne Wade to choose from. 3.4 seconds left here in double overtime.
They may go right inside to Jermaine O'Neal from out of bounds, but they're going to try to get it to Wade.
Wade has it with 2, with 1, going up for the win.
Oh, that time he got a great look at the basket, better than he did after the first overtime. Man, he's upset with himself. That's the one he usually buries. The Heat got the shot they wanted with the guy they wanted taking it, but we're going into a third overtime, and Tony DeLeo, the coach of Philadelphia, is smiling right now.
Wade by Brewers playing excellent defense. Here's Jermaine O'Neal. What a score for Jermaine.
Man.
What a play.
That's a move we haven't seen. Drop steps the basket with about 3 seconds on the shot clock.
28 points for O'Neal. He's played 46 minutes. Twice in this third overtime, he's put the Heat ahead. And there he blocks his 5th shot today. Chalmers on the catch.
Good job by Chalmers not to force that play. You see some of the maturity of Chalmers. Maybe earlier in the year he might have tried it, but now he's, as coach says, he's no longer a rookie.
There he goes. It bounces off to Korver, and the Heat lead stays at 2. 2:25 left here in triple overtime. Chalmers from behind knocked it away from Williams. Right to D. Wade, and here comes Miami. Wade on the move, all the way.
You see the way he picked his way through there. He looked to his right. He made the defender think he was going to pass it, and then he had the burst of speed to the rim. That's D. Wade at his best. My man's got 48 points.
19 for 39. The most field goal attempts in Heat history.
Yeah, he usually doesn't have, he's not usually a volume shooter. You know, shoots 50% for the season. Chalmers, there's Chalmers again, baby.
Here he comes.
Oh, my. Wow. Talk about picking pockets. The 4th best player, the 4th best in the NBA in steals. Does it again at a crucial moment, giving the Heat a 6-point lead. Wow.
Well, Heat fans exhale, but don't celebrate. Still 1:49 left here in the third overtime.
Let's watch this again. Here's the first steal by the second one by Chalmers. Good job. He had one just previous to that. Puts the Heat up 6. He's got 5 steals for the game. This is the other one. Watch as he knocks it away. He gets credit for the steal on that. He should. And then you know what D. Wade likes to do with it. Just get through there, baby. Just get to the rim like you always do. The guards getting it done here in triple overtime for the Heat.
5 steals for Chalmers. Dwayne Wade, he's done everything, including taking the most shots in an NBA game this year. He's got 39 attempts. Kobe Bryant took 38 shots in the Lakers game at Phoenix back on March 1st. Well, it feels good, it looks good, but we know well enough. A 6-point lead is nothing to celebrate with 1:49 left in a third overtime.
With Deron Williams on the floor for Utah, no lead is ever safe because that man can play. We know that. One of the best point guards in the NBA. He can score when he has to. He's got the assist to show it. So this game is far from over. He's got 30 points and 13 assists.
Kyle Korver with 25 points. Carlos Boozer has 20. Well, what a day it has been. Don't forget to join us tomorrow, Sunday afternoon, 1 p.m. tip. If we're done with this game by then, we'll be playing Philadelphia at the Wachovia Center. Hope we see you right here tomorrow afternoon.
We thought we were going to get into Philadelphia early, Eric, with the rate we're going.
Well, tomorrow, same time, different place.
Yeah, 1 o'clock on Sun Sports. You do it all over again tomorrow. And that's an important game as well. How come you haven't renewed yet? These games are great.
1:44 left in triple overtime.
Korver, he's got the hot hand. That one's in and out. Okor had it swept away by Dwayne Wade, but it'll stay with Utah with 1:37 left here in the third overtime. And Coach, you said it earlier, and you were right. Not a single fan has left the Heat's house today. And when you get here, you're not leaving till this one is done. And we hope they leave happy and exhausted. Darren Williams turns the corner, drives in on Chalmers. Boozer inside, and a foul on Dwayne Wade, who was looking for the block shot against Ronnie Brewer.
What a great pass by Boozer. He looked to his left and then found his teammate inside, Brewer wide open. Wade tried to close the gap, but he got there a little late. Watch this pass by Boozer. Terrific. And you can see, Wade tried to get in there. Who's the foul on?
Chalmers.
It was on Chalmers.
Third foul on Mario Chalmers. Heater up 6. Brewer makes it 5.
He's got an unusual rotation on his ball. Doesn't look like he's a good foul shooter, but he's making them. 73%.
He scored 18 points in the first game between these two clubs. He's got 13 today. 5 of 7 from the line. And he flicks them both home. So 14 points for Brewer. Miami ahead by 4, 1:20 left in the third overtime. D. Wade, 48 points. He and Mario Chalmers have both played 52 minutes, career high for both. Here's Jones for 3. Yes! 136 to 129.
And D. Wade is 1 assist away from a triple-double.
A minute left in triple overtime, and the Heat are ahead by 7, which matches their largest lead of the day. Wade with the steal. Heat have the ball. Chalmers against Williams. And the Heat wisely letting some time drain off that clock. Boozer commits the foul.
Yeah, well, the Heat, they're down 7. Utah is, so they've got a foul. There's only 2 possessions left in this game with 45.5 seconds on the clock, but the Heat's going to get the ball on the side. Utah's not in the penalty. They are now. Watch this hustle by the Heat. Wade gets after it, dives after the loose ball, gets it to Udonis.
So Dwayne Wade with 4 steals in this game. He and Chalmers have combined for 9 steals today.
And Wade's going to the foul line to try to tie his career best of 50 that he made about 3 weeks ago.
Well, 3 different Heat players setting career high in minutes. Dwayne Wade with 48 points, 10 boards, 9 assists. With a Heat up by 7, he'll shoot 2, and we'll let you hear the chorus.
You think D. Wade knows that LeBron had 51 last night with a triple-double?
On a day where Dwayne Wade moved past Alonzo Mourning into the #1 spot on the Heat's all-time scoring list. Now he's concentrating on winning the game.
Looking at a stat sheet over there with
50 points for Dwayne Wade. For the second time this year, he drops 50 on an opponent. Jermaine O'Neal, that's his 5th block shot today. Miami's going to win the game.
They're in the driver's seat. They make the free throws, they win the game. Wow, 9-point lead, and it's really been the backcourt of the Heat along with Jermaine O'Neal coming up big. Udonis a big game. How about James Jones coming up big late in this game? There's the block by Jermaine O'Neal that really put Utah in a pickle here.
This is already the 2nd highest scoring game in the history of the Heat. Only 141 the catch. The Heat's franchise high, 141 against Denver in February of '91.
I like to see D. Wade pick up 1 more assist, get that triple-double. He always knocks on the door, but doesn't quite get there.
The most important thing is being accomplished, and that is a victory.
D. Wade has 3 career triple-doubles. None this year yet.
Well, the Heat have finally broken this thing open. 11-point lead here in the third overtime. Well, 26 seconds left here in triple overtime. The clock is running out on Utah. The Heat have outscored the Jazz here in the third overtime. 15-4, an emotional win.
Wow.
An exhausting win and a meaningful victory for Miami with D. Wade getting 50.
Yeah, he was trying to get that lob to O'Neal. That would have been the triple-double there. But he'll take the game, the stats, whatever it is, he'll take the win, man. That's all he's about.
Well, the Heat have done it. The Heat have done it. They've won 10 of their last 11 against Utah. They sweep the series for the 4th time in the last 5 years. 140 to 129. The second highest scoring game in Heat history, and Dwayne Wade, on a day where he became the Heat's all-time scoring leader, tied his own career high with 50 points for the second time this month. Another exceptional performance by Wade and his Miami Heat. It took 3 overtimes, but the Heat win it. Miami's now won 3 in a row, 5 of 6, and 6 of their last 8 games.
And it took a long time, but now the Heat's 18-2 when they have a lead at home going into the 4th quarter.
Well, after winning 12 straight, the Jazz have dropped back-to-back games. Let's go to Jason Jackson. He's standing by with Mr.
Ulster, and we'll visit with the block party that is Jermaine O'Neal. All coming up. Stay right there. This is Miami Heat basketball on Sun Sports.